The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. A noted QC says the government cannot request to stay on a Court of Appeal ruling. The latest on COVID in the country and what new variants could mean. And 8,000 jobs to be added on New Providence. The labor minister insisting bad jobs market is turning a page. Is all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up. It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, June 25th, 2021. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Stephen Hanna will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll be talking with BTC about their fixed mobile convergence. They'll tell us what that's all about. And later in Morning Blend Business, we are talking about the business of athletics with the Nationals, the track and field Nationals taking place this weekend. Are we putting enough money, time, energy into athletics in the country? And are we anywhere near the great heights we experienced a few years ago? Can we achieve them again? It's all straight ahead this morning. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we were sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, Minister of Labor Dion Folk says that 8,000 jobs will soon be added to the New Providence job market as a number of projects come on stream in the near future. He says it's not an exclusive list because many of the projects in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and the other Family Islands aren't mentioned in what he was speaking about yesterday in the Senate during the budget debate. But he says if the numbers are added up, some 8,000 jobs have been created or will come on stream very shortly. In August 2019, the Department of Statistics reported that the national unemployment rate had dropped to 9.5%, which was the lowest rate in 10 years. However, the Bahamas was placed under a state of emergency in March 2020 after the country confirmed its first case of COVID-19, and shortly after that, Prime Minister Dr. Jimenez ordered the closure of non-essential businesses. As a result, thousands of Bahamians were forced to stay home. Last August, the Director of Labor, John Pinder, said unemployment had dropped 40%. Now, while many have started to return to work following the reopening of the economy, some are still furloughed or unemployed due to reduced visitor arrivals and the prohibition of certain businesses like bars and straw markets from reopening. folks yesterday, citing a number of new projects in New Providence as reason for optimism. He also pointed to the expansion of Bahamar, creating 500 construction jobs, 700 permanent jobs, Nassau Cruise Port with 500 construction jobs and hundreds of permanent jobs upon completion, and pointing to the recently expanded and renovated Sandoz Hotel, employing hundreds of Bahamians in the construction stage and 1,000 permanent jobs once they open. Attorney Wayne Monroe says that he's unsure why the government is seeking a stay of the Court of Appeal's recent ruling on citizenship, arguing that the court issued no such order. He says he doesn't know what they'd be seeking to stay. He said, quote, "You seek a stay on an order of the court, and the court made no order. The court simply declared what the law is. It didn't order the government to do anything that it could stay at this point. So I don't understand why the application for a stay would be what the application would be addressing." On Monday, the Court of Appeal affirmed a Supreme Court ruling that children born to Bahamian men and foreign women out of wedlock in the Bahamas are entitled to citizenship from birth. Monroe represents the applicants on the matter. On Tuesday, he advised individuals to apply for their passports now. Investigations continue into a murder yesterday. A 24-year-old man shot and killed on Pierredale Road during an incident that also left a woman injured. Police say it happened shortly before 4 p.m. Officers arriving at the scene found a man lying in the street with gunshot wounds. They also found that woman with gunshot wounds. Police say the woman was taken to the hospital. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. And Assistant Commissioner of Police Solomon Cash warning members of the public against making violent citizens arrests. It's coming after a number of videos showing violent beatings of citizens purported to have taken place in various crimes. He said, this is Cash, if someone who was tied up and beaten during a citizen's arrest were to file a complaint against their attacker, then, quote, "of course we will investigate that like any other alleged criminal case." Cash says it is completely wrong for members of the public to engage in vigilante justice. He noted that there is a legal process that must be followed. Overseas, the Champlain Towers South drew people from around the globe to enjoy life on South Florida's Atlantic coast, some for a night, some to live. We're learning now a couple from Argentina and their young daughter, a beloved retired Miami area teacher and his wife, Orthodox Jews from Russia, Israelis, the sister of Paraguay's First Lady, others from South Africa. They were among the nearly 100 people who remain missing today, a day after the 12-story building collapsed into rubble early yesterday. Much of the Champlain's beach side sheared off for unknown reasons, pancaking into a pile of concrete and metal more than 30 feet high. Only one person has been confirmed dead, though, and officials fear that number could skyrocket. 11 injuries have been reported, with 4 people treated at hospitals. Fire rescue personnel and others working through the night in hopes of finding survivors. Crews appear to remove a body from the rubble in a yellow body bag yesterday. Officials say no cause for the collapse has been determined. In sports, not even the rain was going to stop day one of the highly competitive and anticipated Bahamas Aquatic Federation 49th Rev National Swimming Championships. That got underway yesterday at the Betty Kelly Kenning Swim Complex. One of the highlights of the day, Bahamian Olympics hopeful and Barracuda Swim Club member Isaac Bastian, who powered his way to lowering his own national record in the men's 18 and over 200 meters breaststroke. He posted a time of 2:15.14 as he erased his previous record of 2:16.07, set back in March of this year. He missed out on making the Olympic B cut time of 2:14.26. You can read more about yesterday's first day in today's Guardian Sports section. Bahamas Football Association naming a 20-member men's senior national football team for the upcoming fixture against Guadeloupe in the 2021 Gold Cup qualifiers. That's set for Fort Lauderdale on Saturday, July 3rd at 4:30 p.m. You can read about who will be on that team in today's Guardian Sports section as well. From the NBA, Paul George leading the LA Clippers over Chris Paul and the Phoenix Suns in Game 3 of their Western Conference Championship last night, 106-92. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your weather for today, we've got a moist and unstable air mass that will continue to support pockets of unsettled weather across portions of the northwest Bahamas, while high pressure dominates conditions elsewhere. Boaters should remain alert for possible waterspout activity. Beachgoers should exercise caution due to the high risk of rip currents at east and south coast beaches. And residents again being urged to remain hydrated as heat indices are again expected to reach the triple digits. For today, your forecast for the northwest Bahamas, variable cloudiness, breezy, and hot conditions expected with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms through tonight. Smallcraft caution remains in effect. Boaters should also be alert for gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers and thunderstorms. Winds east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet. For the central and southeast Bahamas today, partly mostly sunny, hot and breezy with a chance of a few isolated showers. Mostly fair, warm, and breezy tonight with a few possible stray showers. Again, a smallcraft caution is in effect. Winds easterly at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet. It is about 81 degrees under mostly cloudy skies in Nassau, 80 in Freeport. Look for highs getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, but that heat index is going to make it feel a lot more uncomfortable, a lot hotter, 105 Fahrenheit, 41 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to around 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
It's time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news, smart talk, all day, Guardian Radio 96.9.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Stay a step ahead of technology with certainty and support from Custom Computers. Our know-how team is here to help you zero in on your next big tech purchase, finding solutions that take your productivity to the next level using only the best and most reliable brands. With 4 stores all across Nassau on East Bay, West Bay, Old Fort Bay, and Palmdale, there's no stopping you from stepping up your tech. Reach out to us at 396-1100. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Postpaid with the Live just got better. Say hello to more with our new Liberty Prime plan. 800 text and talk minutes and 15 gigabytes of data to do the things you love right here at home and even when you travel. With the all-new Liberty Prime, Liberty More, Liberty Premium, and Liberty Elite, you're good at home and good to roam. Roam again. Alive. Believe in best.
Believe in best. RBC has been growing with the Bahamas for over 110 years with new ways to bank better. We are committed to deepening our relationship with existing clients and forging new ones in the future with new products and services and investment in the community, youth, and education initiatives. We are here to help you grow.
We're here to help you flourish. We're RBC.
RBC Royal Bank. Banking reimagined.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Are you ready for effortless hurricane protection? Then you need to get to know LA Impact Windows and Doors. Forget the plywood and get the lowest and affordable prices on hurricane windows and doors for all your residential and commercial projects. You can feel safe and secure with LA Impact Windows and Doors. Located in the Southland Shopping Center, East Street South. LA Impact Windows and Doors. Impacting your views. Call 322-3667 or 829-7822.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up. It's a new day. Wake up, 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 wake up.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 or BTC Flow Channel 612. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, we have Stephen Hanna. Good morning, Stephen Hanna.
Hey, what's up?
Good morning. Great to have you with us, as always. I hope you're doing well. It's a lot to get to this morning. And, folks, you can join the conversations. We are on Twitter at MorningBlend969 or Facebook, facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Email morningblend@nasguard.com, or you can text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC, 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Coming up this morning, we have more weather, more traffic. In our 8 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking with BTC. They've launched their fixed mobile convergence. BTC CEO is going to be here to tell us all about what that means. And later in Morning Blend Business, we'll be talking about athletics and the business of athletics, especially in light of the Nationals this weekend, the track and field championships this weekend. We're going to talk about how we are doing and if we're doing enough to support our track and field athletes in the country. All right, so that's coming up.
Spoiler alert, no.
Yeah, we know the answer to that one. So I guess the questions will be, what do we need to do? And just so you know, we've been complaining about it for a couple of days, and they've changed the rules for this weekend. It won't just be a vaccinated-only event, and the protocols will be strictly enforced for the giant stadium. So that is something there. All right. So that's coming up. But let's begin with what's in the news. And in the news, it's been the hot topic all week, this Court of Appeal ruling on citizenship in the Bahamas, and many different legal views on the matter, and it does seem like there is some confusion over what appears to be relatively simple, for once, language in the Constitution. But hey, the Attorney General says they're seeking a stay on this, but Wayne Monroe says, stay for what? We'll get to what Wayne Monroe is saying in a bit, but take a listen to what Attorney General Carl Bethel said in the Senate yesterday on this matter. The latest of what he's been saying on this. This is a report from our Jasmine Brown.
While the Attorney General had a lot to say in the Senate, much of what he had to say focused on what's happening here at the Attorney General's office, where he says his team is working hard to have that case heard quickly.
The dog that I have in the hunt, and I say I have a dog in the hunt, is certainty in the law. It is critically important. And so while my friend, somewhat insouciantly, I suppose, may want to say that there's some uncertainty, it is my job to point to the certainty that is in the law.
Bethel revealed the government's plan to apply for a stay in the Court of Appeal. He once again stressed the law has not changed despite the ruling because the government is planning to appeal to the Privy Council. He says the AG's office is looking to have the case expedited in the Privy Council so that the matter can be determined sooner rather than later.
Just be patient, because it won't be long. This is such an urgent matter, and I'm sure that the Privy Council is going to give it. See, it isn't a bunch of there's no factual disputes, purely a question of constitutional construction. And I'm sure that this will be given the kind of priority so vital and important a matter is by the Privy Council that we're talking perhaps no more than several months at the very latest, in my view. And we will be applying for accelerated treatment by the court.
The Court of Appeal upheld a Supreme Court ruling that children born out of wedlock to Bahamian men and foreign women in the Bahamas are entitled to citizenship from birth. On Wednesday morning, Bethel said individuals have been turning up at the Parliamentary Registration Department demanding to be registered to vote. Opposition Senator Fred Mitchell said in the Senate that at this point, Bethel needs to remain mum on the matter.
I tried to advise and admonish the Attorney General to stay out of this matter this morning because there's nothing he can say which will clarify or put an end to the argument in the public domain.
The AG pleaded with the public to be patient as the matter works its way through the courts. Reporting for Guardian News Network, I'm Jasmine Brown.
All right, so that's what the Attorney General is saying, and Wayne Monroe is asking what order is the government trying to stay while it applies to the take this matter to the Privy Council. Our Travis Carroll writing about that, saying Attorney Wayne Monroe saying yesterday that he is unsure why the government is seeking a stay of the Court of Appeal's recent ruling on citizenship, arguing that the court issued no order. He said, quote, I really don't know what they would be seeking a stay of. You seek a stay of an order of the court, and the court made no order. The court simply declared what the law is. It didn't order the government to do anything that it could stay at this point. So I don't understand what the application for a stay would be addressing. They haven't been directed to give anyone a passport. They haven't been directed to give anyone anything. They've just said a declaration as to what the true meaning of Article 6 is. I would really like to see their application for a stay to see exactly the order of the court that they are seeking to stay. Now, as we reported yesterday, Monroe, a QC, has represented the applicants in the matter, and he has been advising individuals to apply for their passports now. So, okay. So, yeah, very interesting what everybody's saying here. Let's get your views on it. I know we've been talking a lot about it for the past few days. But you hear what the Attorney General is saying. They're thinking this will be resolved soon. And they're asking for patience. Is that enough? Will that be enough for people who are tired of the situations they've been in for years, some decades, for many? Let's hear what you think. Give us a call, 325-4316, 325-4259. And you can tweet us, you can Facebook us, and you can text us 422-4796. What do you make of it all, Stephen Hanna?
There's nothing to be made of it because, I hear your initial response being, a straightforward interpretation of the Constitution, but it's like, even if all of us disagreed with it, all right, it's literally, this is the system that we signed up for, and more so, persons who are actively a part of the legislative branch of the government, who also are closer tied to the system than us. It's weird and irresponsible because this is the second time in, I feel, as many weeks that more or less they're trying to either skirt the way the system works or they're publicly, saying weird stuff that kind of undermine the validity of the system. Because it's like, we go to judges to arbitrate. The point of a judge is because we can't do it ourselves. We can't figure out this fairly ourselves. So we say, here is a person that we feel can figure this out fairly on behalf of everybody. All right? This is the conclusion they have come to. It's like you betting something, but you were so sure you were going to win that when you don't win, you're like...
No, I don't think that's the situation here at all.
No. I'm not, because that's like, I know they're saying they're going to the Privy Council, and I'm not necessarily saying that the AG is saying this, but it just sounds weird when it's like all this talk about, beyond us talk about state, but the fact that it shouldn't have to be that you agree with the ruling for the ruling.
No, but again, he said it before, that it isn't that he disagrees. It's that it just needs to be official and final. And that in order to achieve that, they have to take it to the Privy Council. Right? So they're just going through the motions so that it can be final. And so he said that last year after right? That's why they appealed it. Because they wanted to make sure that they cover all the bases, so they take it to the top, and it is the final decision. And I'm pretty sure that no matter what the Privy Council says, they're going to say this matter has to be addressed in a referendum.
Right.
No matter what they say. And so that'll be the impetus again for another one of those.
And that's fine, right? It's just that in the meantime, it does kind of mean that technically the interpretation of the law is this.
Yes.
So like on that side, it's like, because it's still like, oh, we need to get the final one down. Even if the Privy Council goes against it during this time period, during this week, it's this. It's A. So it's like it's just a lot of stuff where it's like it's feeling a little like loopholes and stuff. And it's like, okay, guys, wait, don't.
Well, no, that's protections. That's protection. So it's not just.
No, but I'm saying, here's the thing, right? Once I'm saying we went to the appeal court to find out something. The appeal court told us something. And now you're saying don't act on it. Wait until we go to somebody else. I don't think that part is right. I think that you can continue to go as high up as you need to go, but at the same time, persons should be allowed to either to act in good faith and go by what the law is interpreted to be, as well as.
But you do recognize that many people don't agree with what Justice Winder and what the Court of Appeal have said.
But I'm saying, and that's what I was suggesting. I'm saying whether or not you agree with what they said, this is the system that we signed up for. Mm-hmm. That's like we have signed up that judges will judge, that legislators will legislate, right? And so it's like if you don't agree with that, then you can't just disagree with it when you don't like the outcome.
Yes, you can.
No, I'm saying you have to disagree with the process because it's.
No. You can disagree with that, and the process allows you to keep going until you get to the final one. And then when you get to the final one, that's that. That is that.
It won't be that because then you're saying now we got to go have a referendum where we actively enshrine in the Constitution something weird.
I mean, to fix it once and for all, but you might decide that you don't want to do that right away. But in the meantime, we'll have a statute law that will cover that. Person means whether you're married or not, man or woman, right? That'll be sorted out. If somebody later down the road wants to challenge it again, before that happens, you'd want to take that to referendum, and hopefully you'll get the education right, and we won't have to have the mess up we've had all this time. But this is the way to go.
In the meantime, I feel like people should be allowed to apply.
All right. Let's see what you're saying on the phone lines and on your on our text line. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi. Good morning.
Hello. You talking to me?
Yes. You are
Oh
live.
yeah. Okay. Question, guys. Has the court produced majority opinion in writing, and the justices that dissented? Did they say why they dissented? Anybody know? Any idea?
Yes. Where have you been? Yeah, they did. Monday we got that.
Okay, so maybe you can share those in the Family Islands like me who didn't hear it.
Oh, no. Okay.
So,
okay, I tell you what.
How did the court? What kind of gymnastics did the court do to make mother means father when the Constitution clearly says that father means mother?
I don't know if you read this part of the Constitution. It says either of your parents. Either of your parents, right?
No, but that's not the relevant.
That
is
extremely the relevant part. That is.
Well, obviously,
okay, so what we need to do.
Agreed. Well, if it was that clear, I mean, it would have been unanimous.
Well, the majority.
The original ruling by Chief Justice wouldn't have been made if it was so clear.
All right, you are many days behind us. I'm going to tell you what to do. Go on the NASAGuardian.com, or there's a handy NASA Guardian app. They've got all the articles. You'll need to go to Tuesdays. They've got the rulings there. They've got what the majority decision was, what some of the justices said there, the Court of Appeals justices, and you can see what the dissenters said as well.
All right, great. I'll do that. But another quick question before I go. Is the judge who made the original ruling still alive?
No, you mean the one from last year, Justice Ian White?
No, I think it was Burton Hall. Is he still alive?
I believe so, yeah. Right?
Well, if he is, maybe we can get him to discuss this. I don't know. What do you think?
You can, but I mean, what difference will it make?
Well, I mean, it'll be expert opinion.
We got the expert opinion. You got it from...
Well, another expert opinion.
You got the Court of Appeal. The only people left now will be the Privy Council. So there are all kinds of expert opinions.
I know how they're going to come down, but anyways.
You do?
Yeah, all right.
What do you think they're going to say?
Well, they're going to affirm the Court of Appeal ruling.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Why do you think that?
Well, I mean, based on how they dealt with the issue of murder. I mean, the Constitution clearly says that the penalty for murder is death, but they ruled otherwise. So,
all right, so you don't think this is clear. Every person born in the Bahamas after 9th of July, 1973 shall become a citizen of the Bahamas at the date of his birth if at that date either of his parents is a citizen of the Bahamas. That isn't very clear to you? Either of his parents?
No, because there's a clause that explains that. Okay, because you have people who are married and people who are single.
Yeah.
Okay, when the Constitution was written, we didn't have DNA. So there's no way we could tell who the father was.
Okay, but we do know.
Right?
We do know. So we need to make it relevant to our times, right? We can't be living
the court didn't address that, or did they?
Yeah, they did.
How do we determine who the father is?
DNA, as you said it. We've got it. So
that's what they said.
Well, I mean, that we know we can. We can.
So I see. That's another issue.
Is it?
Anyway,
it isn't as complicated as
we how it goes.
All right, so I invite you to, again, to get to Tuesday's papers or go online, thenasaguardian.com, or download the NASA Guardian app. All the stories are right there. You can find it. It is amazing. I don't know why more of you don't do that. Yeah, so read what they're saying. Everything is right there. And the issue is that what you're talking about is in Chapter 14 where it talks about, Section 14 where it talks about father, but when it's a person born out of wedlock, father can be construed to mean mother. But as Justice Winder pointed out, in Section 6 there's no mention of father at all. It just says either of his parents. So it's different.
Yeah, you heard the conversation just now between you and the caller. It came down to like arguing about our personal interpretations and our personal feelings about it. And I'm saying that shouldn't matter in this situation. Now, we can our personal feelings are valid, but our personal feelings should be geared towards, as you say, either preparing or calling for a referendum to settle it once and for all. Actually, that's the only thing. Because our personal feelings shouldn't be lobbying for the Privy Council to do anything or whatever. It should literally be, okay, if the majority of us feel like it should be X, then we need to have a sit down and vote over it. All right? And that's literally the only direction your personal feelings should drive you in at this point. But as long as we start saying the court is incorrect, we're literally undermining at least publicly, we're saying that.
Stephen, you can do that. This is not an authoritarian state.
I'm not suggesting
you feel that, and you might become a lawyer and challenge them yourself. So
I'm not saying that people should be arrested. I'm saying that we should be aware of what we signed up for. You could not agree with it, but it's like it's different to say I don't like it than to be like, no, the judges are wrong.
Well, I think you can do all of it. What's the issue? And again, the many different layers in this regard is very helpful, right? And so the three strikes, you're going to go here, then we're going to go there, and then we're going to go there. And that's the final one. If they say it, whatever they say, that has to go. Bam, right? Because somebody might have been too close to the situation in this court or that court. And here I'm a little more removed, and so I can see it for what it is or should be, and I can understand that side and that side, but I think this, okay, well, there we go.
Until, I disagree with it.
Well, I guarantee you, as I said, they're going to say, you got to take this to a referendum eventually. You've got to take it to a referendum eventually.
And I'd rather they prepare for that moment than for us to be out here addressing it this way.
Which way? Which way? What's wrong with what's happening?
It feels.
People need to have a discourse. People need to talk about these issues, right? What are they making laws based on? Do they know how many people this affects? Do they know how people really feel? Have they thought about all the scenarios? People need to express themselves and say, do you know that if you do this, this country will forever be changed, or something like that, right? So people need to hear. We can't just sit back and just say, oh, well,
No, by all means. By all means. I'm not arguing against the discourse.
All right, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
A godly day to this Strachan and voice along with you and Stephen Dwight.
Hi.
Dwight, two questions for you all, of course. Why do you think, the first question is, why do you think the government doesn't want to fix the situation now?
Which situation?
With the people, the children that are born here.
They desperately do.
Say it again?
They desperately do. This is why they're doing what they're doing.
They want to fix it?
Yes.
But then why they want to go to the Privy Council?
They want to take it to the highest court in the land, so there's a final court, the final decision is made. Bam.
Do you see the government in problem with the situation?
In terms of?
In terms of they don't know really how to deal with it.
Like what? What do you mean?
Because there are so many people that they have to, deal with. people came here illegal. They have children.
That's not what this comes.
But that's what it is. That's a part of the whole situation.
It's a little bit different. A little bit different. There's a Bahamian father involved here, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah, but the thing is, the Bahamian father involved, but then the Bahamian father still have children with people that came here illegal.
Sometimes, and some didn't. Mm-hmm.
That's the problem right there.
Okay,
and
what
you
does
have
that?
to deal with all of that.
So what does that mean? What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. I wish I would. I wish I knew.
Mm-hmm. You think
Anyhow,
it's going to be
time.
overwhelming? You think it's going to be a big problem?
A big problem?
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
All right. Well, you got to start talking to Bahamian men. Control yourselves and think carefully. And I don't know if it's going to be retroactive. I think maybe the government has a say in that, right? Maybe. We will see. All right, let's go to the text line, see what you're saying there. This one says, I can't take the Attorney General. He should have taken Mitchell's advice. Listen, given those children their citizenship, I just feel the DNA must be included somehow. And if the child is born here, he or she should definitely be seen as Bahamian. Well, I'm sure they are seen as that, but are they considered it legally? That's another story. This one says, about the citizenship verdict, how come we're hearing all of this legal maneuvering and jargon now when the last sensational referendum on citizenship could have saved time and resources if once Fred Smith had brought the matter to court? What? Waxing eloquent is the game, humbug. I don't know if I understand your question. Do you understand the question? I hear you snickering. What?
I think they're implying that Fred Smith could get anything passed and stuff. So
I'm pretty sure everybody was hoping that this would have been addressed with the referendum, and we wouldn't be here. Wouldn't have to go to any court situation, right? Could have been addressed. How did you all vote on question number 3? How did you all vote? I know I voted yes on that one. What?
Anyway, I guess.
What? What did you do?
No, it's not the direction I voted in. It's like, once again, this is a situation where it's like, I feel like my position has not changed. And my position is just that.
Okay, we heard your position. But how did you vote on question number 3?
I think I voted yes for everything.
Okay.
So, but once again, when it failed, I didn't, call the radio stations, and maybe that was the solution. Call the radio stations and tell everybody they was dumb and stupid for having a dissenting opinion from me. It was like, and so it's like, or that they don't understand the calamity. And the truth is, they didn't, right? But it's like, it wouldn't have changed in 10 seconds to be like, listen to me for 5 more minutes and you'll understand why it's important. Like, no, it's like, this is something that's going to take a while, but we put it to this test, and this is what the test was, gave us back. And now we put it to another test, and this is what the other test has given us back. And so it's like, you still have things that you can do, but in the meantime, it's like, I feel like...
Well, this is the meantime now. This is the meantime.
Right.
So this will, whatever the Privy Council says, that will be done until there is a referendum. Right? And then, of course, if people don't get their way, that means more court cases on some other ground. Somebody will find some other thing that they can think they can win a case on, and it'll keep going in the courts until there's a satisfactory conclusion with the referendum that once and for all addresses the matter. Perhaps.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sorry. You know what? We'll let it go.
Here's a text here. The government and opposition do not want it interpreted for it to already be law because it'll show how much money was wasted on referendums, and no party can be the savior of equal rights. Well, I don't know if that's accurate.
No, because then the referendum covered more than just that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if it was a one-question referendum, then it'd be like, oh, that was different. But now everybody's asking for a single question referendum in order to avoid confusion, to keep it as simple as possible for any referendum going forward. You know, you can't have a referendum on curtains as well as what you should bring to the party in terms of drinks, because then it's just going to be confusion and we're just going to cancel the party.
Yeah. The Privy Council will say the ambiguity in the Constitution needs to be removed. Fix it. Fix it. That's our recommendation. You got to fix it, or this will continue to be a problem. In the meantime, all right, this one says, could this have been concluded in the appeals court without the government going to the Privy Council? I agree with Stephen that appealing to the Privy Council is not to concretize the process, but to overturn the Court of Appeal ruling. Nope, that is not what they've said. That's not what they said. If you listen, they are not disagreeing. That is entirely to concretize the matter. They've said it. They've said, because if Wayne Monroe had lost, right, if the ruling had been different, he would have taken it to the Court of Appeal, and he still would have gone to the Privy Council. That's what any side would have done.
Because he would be trying to overturn it.
And he is just. This is the same thing the government has said. That this is what
right.
They
so
want to do.
You agree with them that they're trying to overturn it?
No. They just want to say they went up to the highest court, and that this is definitely affirmed. This is what it is.
I would actually prefer if they were trying to overturn it, because that's a waste of money then. But I understand. I understand in principle that, they must fight the good fight. But if that's the case, then what is the whole thing about the stay about?
Because there's tons of people showing up now demanding passports. Right.
Because, as I would expect it, as it should be, because, before somebody changed their mind, while everyone is saying this is now the law, let me take advantage of the law. Isn't that how it works?
Well, hey, let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
I really enjoy this station. I listen to it about 90% of the times today, and I learned something yesterday on Vaughn McCartney's show. I wish the kind gentleman would call in and say exactly what I'm going to repeat, but because he said it. He said, this is the discussion we're having about foreigners, and we're going to have foreigners make the decision for us, as if we cannot make it ourselves. And it's like, if you look at a sandwich, we seem to be in between foreigners trying to get in and foreigners deciding who gets in. And I really wish he could call in and just expand on that concept of a foreigner making a decision for us about foreigners being in our country.
Is it about foreigners? Is it about foreigners? You consider
the Privy Council
son...
most of them are not Bahamian.
No. Do you consider the son or daughter of a Bahamian man born in the Bahamas to be a foreigner?
No, until that person is Bahamian. Are they foreign?
What?
If someone who is based on Constitution is not determined to be a Bahamian, are they Bahamian?
Well, again, that's the thing. The Constitution says one thing, and people have interpreted it to mean something else. Many of us see it as one thing, and others see it as something else. It is
and yet we're going to a foreigner to make that decision for us.
But again, do you think the son or daughter of a man who is a Bahamian born right here in the Bahamas is a foreigner?
No, that's automatically Bahamian. But we're discussing something about someone becoming a Bahamian, and we're asking foreigners to determine that for us.
You were given the opportunity.
But why do we have to go outside of ourselves?
But you were given the opportunity, and we didn't fix it.
Because there was too many questions.
Oh, okay. So
no,
clearly,
but I wish the gentleman could call in and really explain that.
You said it. I don't think he can say it any better than what you just said.
But you said some more, and I really enjoyed your show. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. Hey, I mean, when it looks like we can't make the decision, I guess we may have to go to foreigners.
No, listen, we could stop at the Court of Appeal, but then I also feel that the persons who don't agree with it would, as you say, be like, well, why y'all stop there? Y'all ain't really try.
They may try to challenge that. They may start a suit.
And they might, I don't know if a private group of people could take something to the Court of Appeal on behalf of the government.
Start it again back in the Supreme Court or something,
Right, and you know what? That'd be fine. But in the meantime, it would be the law as it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so my thing is not that you can't comment on anything, because every time there's a traffic fatality and the person only gets a $800 fine for killing 3 people and then going home after eating the belly full of Wendy's. Like, we have a problem with that,
names.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's okay.
Right? Sorry, a belly full of fast food, right? We have an issue with that, all right? And I'm not in any way suggesting that we can't say, well, how did you come to this conclusion? How do you think this is fair? Something must be done about this. If that is your position, by all means, say that. But that's not what's being said. What's being said is, this judge the judges are incorrect because this is blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying that all the energy you feel, the passion you feel, forward that towards asking for a referendum or changing the system. But it's like, we either buy into the system or we don't buy into
Well,
the
I
system.
think there's great fear that the Bahamian people will mix this up with all kinds of other things, like we've been hearing this morning, right? So if they can avoid a referendum, as long as it can,
I'm not talking to the government. I'm not talking to the government.
No, but I
I'm
think
talking to
that's
the
why
people.
this thing. We've been told before that let's try it through the law, and right. So this is what they're hoping.
I understand that the government doesn't have any faith in the Bahamian people. They think the Bahamian people are stupid and the Bahamian people are incapable of being rational, civilized people and coming to a conclusion. And I'm saying, let us show them otherwise, all right? If you do not agree with it, if you agree with it, whatever it may be, use that energy to call for a referendum as opposed to what feels very much like us slowly turning the judges into a different class of people from ourselves. The same way we easily, flippantly say, well, the Privy Council, you know how theirs go. It's only a matter of time before we start saying, well, you know how them judges go.
Well, they are. They've been saying that one. They've been saying that.
But I've never heard anybody say that about the judges.
Oh, okay.
I mean about local judges.
Yeah? Okay. This text here, if we are not changing the Constitution, why do we need a referendum? What? Anyway. Okay. In my view, the new understanding of this clause in our Constitution is fair. Why change a clause that makes Bahamian mothers and fathers equal? Oh, my goodness. What's going on here? The only thing that I will add to the law will be to require a DNA test of the father to establish eligibility. Well, that's the only part of this thing that made sense to me, the last sentence. But okay. It goes to show politics has some of these people, I guess, can't see the truth, Dwight. I know the man. I can't see where the court went wrong. These F&Ms. What's happening? F&Ms. Anyway, I'm not sure what the mad rush to get registered to vote or acquire a passport for, because in order to get citizenship, one would have to provide a paternity test, and if the paternity test isn't part of the new legislation, then we'll be at back to square one, and this ruling will be a waste of time.
Anyway, whatever. You know what? It's like, you know what? Well, then just build it into it. Everybody, every time somebody born, do a paternity test. All right? Because and the reason I say that is because, I heard your conversation with the last caller, right? And it's like, when you're saying, do you consider the son of an individual, the son of a Bahamian individual to be Bahamian, all right?
Born here.
Born here. What? I mean, that's the thing. We could go through all types of semantics. But the truth
That's
of the matter
very
is,
important.
No. But I'm saying, the reason I say that, the semantics, is because at the end of the day, there are tons of Bahamian men who know that they're the only person who sleep with a woman, and they don't consider that child their child. All right? And so it's like, we have cultural issues that make this a problem. Whereas, like, we don't see the people that we sleep with as our equals, and therefore their offspring can be our equals. And in that way, we are no different than slave masters having sex with slaves and then saying, yeah, my light-skinned child a little different, but they ain't equal and they can't inherit the property. I can just put them in the house so they don't get sunburned. Right? In that way, we are doing the exact same thing. All right? And so it's like, I don't understand. I don't know how we've devolved to this point. Whereas, like, a person could legitimately say, your heir should not be your heir because their mother is not your cousin, essentially.
Okay. Last part there. Anyway, this text here: if Article 6 is so clear as you suggested, then why wasn't the Court of Appeal decision unanimous? Well, clear to me. clear to me, at least, and clear to many others, but not to everybody, apparently. And that's what I meant to say. All right, let's take this call, and we got to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, my best Bahamas. Dwight, let me see if I get you again. Nothing can change in this country until 80% of the Moses school get out of the way. They've been in Parliament for all those years. They ain't changed those laws. They ain't meant nothing. Dwight, when they had the last referendum, I voted yes to one thing, And guess what that was, Dwight?
Which one?
The lotto. You see everybody crying, but sports can't get the money. Especially, see, this money would have been
How did you vote in the last referendum?
I won't know that every Jesus Christ thing,
my
Dwight. You
goodness.
know why? Let me tell you why. I can't go and say no gambling. I can't go to Paul
But-
which please give me a license hand.
I mean, that
There's a lot
was...
of things discriminating in this country against our people.
So because of that, you voted no to these citizenship
right.
questions?
And that's how you think. See, a lot of people call us homophobic. They're up all kind of nonsense. But being stupid, being people we got plenty sense. We are a small country. 80% of people in this country are families and know one another. Big Dwight, we can take things seriously, man. You can't be giving me a big Dwight, listen to me. If the law says if both parents are behaving, man and woman, the child should automatically become a behaving. What's wrong with that? Why keep going to appeal all kind of foolishness? That's the problem. Many people behave whatever no marriage of children. 80% of our population born out of wedlock. 80%. So we need to stop being fool. You're born. You're behaving in this country. Right? The Moses school, they say, boy, I get you. I don't listen to play anything they say to it. Thanks for taking my call.
Again, got to listen to what he's saying. He's got to listen to what the Attorney General is saying. He's been saying that since last year. This is to concretize it, to confirm it in the law, to take it as high as it can go until.
Well, and that's the thing. He could take it to the max all he wants, but it is the law now. And it's like so. That's and I'm just saying that's how it is.
Right.
It is because it's just in a situation to say, can we do something? This is saying this is what is.
All right, let us read these final messages, and then we're going to take a break. Someone says here, this should go to referenda. We should get the Bahamian people to decide this, not a privy council where some foreigner in a foreign country. Okay. Hey, that's your final court of appeal. That's what your Constitution says there
I feel
too.
less strongly about what y'all is eat, and what all is available to you in this country, because like foreigners are helping to make choices locally in the Bahamas every single day.
Yep. This
But
one
y'all
here.
only get mad about certain things.
This one here. What about adoption? If a Bahamian male adopts a non-Bahamian child, would that child be granted citizenship? Is there separation of law for that? What? No. What?
If a Bahamian male adopts
if he's
a child, would it still count? My assumption would be yes.
Yeah, I mean, what are you asking? I mean, if he
No, but,
legally
I mean-
adopts it, he can apply for the child, get citizenship. I mean, let's not mix things up. Let's talk about what's happening here.
I think they're just asking because everybody kept saying DNA.
But if he, okay. It does not have to go to the Privy Council. Who will fight against this? Surely not the people who this helps, and those that it won't help. Why would they care so much to fight to prevent others from taking advantage of the ruling? Oh, there are a lot of people who aren't happy with the ruling. There are a lot of people not happy with the ruling. What's going on with that? I don't know, but there are a lot of people not happy with the ruling. Someone says, does it matter where in the world that child is born and why? It does matter with a single Bahamian woman. No, if it's a single Bahamian woman, the child could be born on a different planet, and the child's a Bahamian. Single Bahamian man? Not quite. No. This one here, the Constitution should be treated as a living document. When it was written, things were different. It baffles me that some people fail to realize that the only thing sure in life is change and death. All right, we'll get to the rest of these after the break. This is Morning Blend on a Friday morning here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
7:46, time for your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. In your real-time traffic at this hour, Smile Butler Highway, heavy traffic in the northbound lanes north of Fire Trail all the way up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway this morning. Glasgow looking a little bit better for you, but still heavy as you get closer to JFK Drive in the northbound lane there. Blue Hill Road, north of Soldier Road, you'll meet the congestion as you get closer to Independence Drive in the roundabout in the northbound lanes. And Blue Hill further south near Carmichael, that junction there, you'll be seeing as the traffic is building eastbound on Carmichael towards Blue Hill. And further south on Blue Hill at St. Vincent Road, same thing happening there. Elsewhere, we are seeing some building traffic along Wolf Road at the major intersections and the roundabouts, Wolf Road and Marathon, as traffic's building there. And along Prince Charles Drive at the intersections, Prince Charles and Robinson major intersections, we'll be seeing some building traffic. That's what we're looking at this hour. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC Royal Bank, banking reimagined. And time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Rev Cable Bahamas. We've got a moist and unstable air mass that will continue to support pockets of unsettled weather across portions of the northwest Bahamas, while high pressure dominates conditions elsewhere. Boaters should be alert for possible waterspout activity, and beachgoers should be alert for rip currents at east and south coast beaches. And again, everyone's being advised to remain hydrated due to high heat indices that are expected to reach the triple digits today. For the northwest Bahamas, today look for variable cloudiness, breezy and hot conditions, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms through tonight. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly to mostly sunny, hot and breezy with the chance of a few isolated showers today. Mostly fair, warm and breezy with a few possible stray showers tonight. High temperatures getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, but the heat index make it feel like 105 Fahrenheit, 41 Celsius. Overnight lows getting down to 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. In your extended outlook, troughing will maintain elevated rain chances across portions of the country throughout the weekend. So for tomorrow, Saturday, we're looking at partly cloudy, hot and breezy conditions with scattered showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms. Sunday, partly sunny and hot with a few showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms. In the tropics, we're still watching that strong tropical wave located over the far eastern Atlantic off the African coast. It's being monitored for possible development over the next week. The system has still a low chance, though, about 30% chance of tropical cyclone formation through the next 5 days. Definitely something to keep an eye on. That is your Morning Blend weather check brought to you by Rev Cable Bahamas. Rev, you and us together.
Enjoy an elevated mobile experience with BTC, giving you
unlimited talk for the best conversations,
unlimited data for all your online fun,
and unlimited roaming to stay connected while overseas.
For just $50 per line.
Unlock unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming when you sign up for BTC Superfast Fiber Internet with speed starting at 100 megabits per second. Enjoy more great savings and value. Upgrade or sign up today. Visit any BTC store or btcbahamas.com. Conditions apply.
Travel less, but vacation more by indulging yourself and your family with the ultimate staycation getaway at Atlantis. Sleep in, relax, play, go out. Say yes to a fantastic staycation in your very own paradise just over the bridge. For reservations, call 363-6483 or visit Atlantis Local on Facebook for details.
Meet Jackie. Jackie's a hard worker with a steady income, but she has a personal loan and multiple credit cards to pay off. To keep her account current, Jackie opted for a loan from Fidelity Bank to consolidate her debt into one monthly payment and earn interest on a built-in savings account. Be like Jackie. Call 356-7764 to book a complimentary financial coaching session. Fidelity also offers virtual assistance. Fidelity, we're good for you.
There's only one way to have a better morning. How? Start your mornings the best way with our 2 for $6 breakfast sandwiches at Wendy's. For a limited time, choose any 2 of your favorite breakfast sandwiches, including the fresh Strachan sack muffin, honey buttermilk chicken biscuit, double sausage muffin, or the sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Wash it all down with our cold brew shake or coffee. Better mornings always start at Wendy's. Wendy's, different inside and out. Excludes airport locations.
Let's face it, in an increasingly competitive market, your business needs a competitive edge. That means offering your employees the benefits they want. Give them the benefit of retiring their way with the RF Multi-Employer Pension Plan. Choose from some of the best performing investment funds in the market while taking advantage of low administrative costs and professional management. Whether you're a team of 2 or 2,000, our pension specialists can design a plan for you. Contact us at pensions@rfgroup.com to learn more about the RF Multi-Employer Pension Plan. RF, money at work.
To be a Bahamian. I born there. Tell them that you born there. I born there. Tell them that you born there. My grandpa meet my grandma dear. Tell them that you born there.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna on this Friday morning. Oh, yeah, getting some very interesting text messages here. Someone says, okay, this is the person who said, why are they going to Privy Council? Surely the people who's going to fight against this? Surely not the people who this helps and not those that it won't help. Why would they care so much, right? And I said, well, you'd be surprised. So many people disliked the ruling. They texted back. They're like, you're not understanding my point. Many are unhappy about the ruling, but I don't think they are upset to the point of spending money to engage lawyers to take it to the Privy Council. Voting no in a referendum and calling the talk show is very different from spending thousands of dollars that you will not get back. Well, okay, I hear you. I don't know. I think, people, I'm amazed at how people spend their energy and time and money around here. You'd be very surprised. Very surprised. Like we heard just a few minutes ago with the caller who said they voted no just because with the previous referendum about the lottery issue. So, I mean, people will do all kinds of things if they feel I got to prove a point. So, I'm not sure, but okay, I hear you. This one says here, an accident is an accident, Stephen, unless it is proven to be intentional and or criminal. If that ambiguous word equally wasn't used, we wouldn't have had this issue in the referendum, I think they're trying to say. Okay.
They're referring back to complaining about how come people could murder with their vehicle and only get an $800 fine.
This one here.
All I know is if somebody kill me with their car and leave the scene, my ghost will haunt all of you if y'all don't kick up the biggest fuss. Now, if it's an accident and you stay there and you call, the ambulance and you try to resuscitate me and it still failed, by all means, that's understandable. That's an accident. That's a person accepting responsibility. But if you leave the scene, I'm going to assume intent, and then there needs to be. It cannot be somebody who has been drunk driving. They've been in several accidents over the past year, and the only thing they get is a fine. No points on there. I don't know if there should be a system where it's possible for you to get a license for the next 10 years
Yep.
If you even hit somebody, not even talking about kill, if you hit a human being with your car, you shouldn't be able to drive for 10 years.
And with a certain number of tickets, too, you shouldn't be able to drive. You should have points,
because
right?
it's just right because you run a certain number of lights, and we caught you those many times. You can't drive for this many years. Oh, you can't do that because then I would get my job all the way at the airport. Well, you should have been more responsible.
Yeah.
I guess you'll have to ask somebody to drop you there, or you will have to get another job. But regardless, no.
Okay. This one says, will we require that all fathers get a DNA test, married or
Why
not, to women?
not?
Yeah, what's the issue?
If they married to the woman, why not? Since we suddenly have these wonderfully strong opinions on things, like, let's do it. Let's make it automatic. And while we're at it, why not, do some other things to clear up that system over there.
What? Okay. This one says, a texter asked, why would people who the law doesn't affect even care? Minding other people's business is truly the national sport of the Bahamas. I agree with you, texter. Exactly. These people will intentionally, they don't know anybody who this impacts, but I don't like it, and I'm going to challenge it. Like, yeah, okay. Just to mess you up. This was...
Scapegoats work.
Well,
that's how scapegoats work. It's not about whether or not it actually impacts you. It's about, this is the problem. That specter over there, that ghost over there is the problem.
Yeah. This one says here, the question about adoption is real. I know a couple who adopted a foreign child, and that child was made a Bahamian. How can we give citizenship to that child and not give it to a child born in the Bahamas to a Bahamian father? I mean, there are a lot of different issues there, and they're married, and it's not the same. But
no, I think their point isn't necessarily to say whether or not one thinks that they're equal or it's one is understandable. The point is, if this person who has no genetic or ethnic ties to the Bahamas is allowed to become Bahamian, why all this fuss?
Yeah, because they legally become your child. Legally. And that's what all of this is about, legally. Right?
So would the solution then be, would the workaround this would just be biological fathers adopt your child?
That's what's been happening, and that's extremely unfair. They have to spend all that money to adopt their own child. Does that sound like any sense? That's been happening in the Bahamas. That is foolishness. This is why we all should have come together to fix this. And if DNA, we have it now, require a DNA test. What's the big deal? Require a DNA test. That's your child. Bahamian. Bam. Simple. Okay. But y'all voted no. Because you didn't get to gamble in the casino. Think about that while we go to the break. Let's do that. You see it now, but okay. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We'll be back after the news.
Nassau's my home, my native land. I want them people to understand.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and on BTC Float Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:22, it is time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here's what's happening. We've got a moist and unstable air mass that will continue to support pockets of unsettled weather across portions of the northwest Bahamas, while high pressure dominates conditions elsewhere. Boaters should be alert for possible water spouts. Beachgoers should exercise caution due to rip currents at east and south coast beaches. And everybody is being urged to remain hydrated and avoid excessive time outdoors due to the high heat indices that are expected to reach the triple digits again today. For today, for the northwest Bahamas, expect variable cloudiness, breezy, and hot conditions, along with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms through tonight. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly mostly sunny and hot, breezy, with a chance of a few isolated showers, mostly fair, warm, and breezy, with a few possible stray showers tonight. Smoke-off caution in effect for all areas. Temperature-wise, look for highs getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. The heat index will be at 105 Fahrenheit, 41 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. In your extended outlook, troughing will remain elevated. Rain chances across portions of the country will be high throughout the weekend. So for Saturday, tomorrow, partly cloudy, hot and breezy with scattered showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms. Sunday, partly sunny and hot with a few showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms. In the tropics, we're keeping an eye on that tropical wave over the far eastern Atlantic off the coast of Africa. It's being monitored for possible development over the next week. The system has a low chance, about 30% chance for tropical cyclone formation through the next 5 days. That's your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us. And at 8:24, time for another check of the traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. And in real-time traffic this morning, Blue Hill Road, hotspot for you from south of Carmichael Road, the northbound lanes mainly, especially as you head north of Soldier Road. That heavy traffic getting over that hill to get to Independence Drive roundabout there. It's going to be busy in both lanes. Independence Drive also backed up a bit on the westbound lanes heading towards that roundabout. Carmichael eastbound to Blue Hill Road, also busy this morning. And Fire Trail Road eastbound to Sir Miles Butler Highway. You're going to be seeing heavy traffic there. Sir Miles Butler Highway is the hottest spot on the island this morning. Heavy traffic from well south of Fire Trail Road roundabout there, all the way up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway in the northbound lanes. Gladstone Road looking busy for you as well, northbound to JFK Drive this morning. Building traffic westbound on Carmichael heading towards Coral Harbor Road. And then on West Bay Street eastbound, you're just east of Arawak Key heading towards Nassau Street. You're going to be seeing that heavy traffic there this morning. Elsewhere, not looking so bad. Marathon Road northbound, got some traffic there for you. And Wolf Road between Village, Soldier, and Bernard Road, that intersection, and Marathon, you're going to be seeing quite a few cars, but it's nothing you can't manage today. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank, banking reimagined.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with Stephen Hanna. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll be talking with BTC CEO about their fixed mobile convergence. They announced this last week. Some exciting things going on with them. They'll tell us all about that. Coming up in just a few minutes. We continue our discussion on what's in the news this morning. We've been talking about the citizenship issue all week long. This has captivated our attention. We've got a lot of your interesting text messages here. Somebody saying the fact that this law was misinterpreted shows that a referendum wasn't actually needed. Unfortunately, the laws are designed to help the wealthy and the poor benefiting by this accident. Okay, I'm not too sure about that one there, but okay, sure. This person says, I listened to Guardian Radio's news, and Attorney Wayne Monroe, who's running for Freetown, is saying something different from the PLP chairman, Fred Mitchell, pertaining to the stay for the ruling. Well, that's been the whole issue. All the lawyers are saying different things. Everybody's interpreting it in different ways with some slight nuances here and there. So you're going to not get everybody in agreement on how things work, how things should work, on what to do next, and what shouldn't happen or what should happen and all that stuff. You know? This text here, stop it, Dwight. Bahamians voted no on the last referendum because of people like you calling them stupid if they didn't. And McWeeny saying vote yes or vote or for all or no for all. Did he say that? They did want one, so they voted no for all. You cannot change that. Stop trying to rewrite history with your editorializing. Me, okay. I was just repeating what the caller said earlier. That's why, right? And I heard we heard it on this show. We heard people say that I don't feel that these are the issues that need to be addressed in the Constitution first, and this will only benefit certain people and not me. So that's why I'm going to vote no to all. Not that I won't go and not take part in the referendum and go on the beach as others have suggested we do with the general election, but they actually went to vote no because they didn't feel these were the questions that were needed. That type of logic, I don't understand it. Stephen, I don't know if you get that.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much good could be done by going back in time. But, and I guess it's one of those things, like, if you don't learn from your history, you're bound to repeat it.
Yes.
So here's the thing. As smart as persons who listening may think that Stephen Hanna is, I encourage you to still do your own research, all right? And the reason I say that is because it's not often, but on occasion, I've been incorrect about things, all right? So as much as I may be making arguments that sound logical and sound, I encourage you, as the Bible says, to work out your salvation with fear and trembling, all right? Same thing applies to Dwight. Same thing applies when you hear any random person come on the radio and say, this is how I feel about it, and I wish you feel the same way, all right? As a result, when we have referendums in the future, just because one person is afraid of it and they say it's about this thing, you should probably work it out and figure out, wait, is this about something I care about? For example, if we're talking about equality, because one of your taxes earlier was like the reason the problem was because they put the word equality in there or something like that. They said something along those lines. The thing is, we have men who will call in and say it's unfair that they can't see their child, that the woman only uses the child for child support and all these different stuff, and that the court favors the woman over the man. Well, that would have been remedied if everybody had voted yes to that question on the referendum, all right? You wouldn't have a court automatically giving the custody of the child to the mother because they assume that the mother is the good parent. Right, you wouldn't be able to discriminate based on gender. And the same way where men will say, oh, women could do this and women could do that, and we don't get to do this and that, and it ain't fair, whatever, all that would be remedied.
Yeah. I also don't think people...
So there are things that will affect you personally or do affect you personally right now based on that referendum, whether or not you have children, whether or not you had a child with somebody who is not a Bahamian, whether or not you had a child with somebody out of wedlock. There are things that are probably affecting you in different ways that would have been addressed through this referendum.
Yeah. And people need to not allow themselves to get hijacked by movements that don't have anything to do with you, right? That
Right.
their
But
agendas with their
once again,
movements, right?
That's the thing. As good as it sounds, because they might have all the T-shirts in the world, they might have somebody singing fancy sounding songs. I encourage you at the end of the day, you could get the free T-shirt, you could dance along to the music, but then you turn around and you do your own research.
Now, I don't think people remember that these weren't just very simple questions. In fact, some people were at the time criticizing how in-depth and lengthy the questions were. But remember, what we were trying to do was not address Article 6, which, again, once you read it, it says either parent. It's pretty simple. The problem is Article 14, right? And what it says now is any reference in this chapter to the father of a person shall, in relation to any person born out of wedlock, other than a person legitimated before the 10th of July, 1973, be construed as a reference to the mother of that person. Right? And this is what Justice Winder is saying, that, well, that doesn't apply to Article 6 because there is no mention of the word father in that. It says either parent. But, of course, Sir Michael Barnett said something else in his dissenting view, which is a very interesting argument, right? But anyway, so what the referendum, remember the question? What they were seeking to do was amend, number 3, amend Article 14, Section 1, to say a reference in this chapter to the father of a person born out of wedlock after the coming into operation of this paragraph means a male who satisfies any requirements as to proof of paternity as may be prescribed. Right? That's what they're seeking to do there. And, but people... That would have satisfied the issue about, what about if it's not really the father and people come in there and try to sign up and just get money? Well, then you see what it says there. It requires you. Yeah, who does that? But anyway, people barely do it. That would have satisfied that there. We had it. That was going to be in there, enshrined in the Constitution. You have to prove that you are indeed. You just can't say it.
Hello?
And then it was also going to say that if there was a death, it says here, any reference in this chapter to the national status of the parent at the time of that person's birth shall, in relation to a person born after the death of the parent, be construed as a reference to the national status of the parent at the time of the parent's death. And where that death occurred before 10th of July 1973 and the birth occurred after 9th of July 1973, the national status that the father would have had if he had died on the 10th of July 1973 shall be deemed to be his national status at the time of his death. Now that's where, oh boy. Okay, but yeah, there was a lot. And then maybe there were too many questions, as people were saying. Maybe we could have done one a year and addressed it that way, perhaps. And maybe going forward, we need to simplify these processes, right? One question, we understand it, takes 6 months, a year to fully understand it, and then here we go, perhaps. This text here, as we take this break, and then we take this, we'll read the text and then take the break. This one says, it appears that referenda are just opinion polls, and no matter what the majority says, despite how we feel about their education, it will be overruled. Perhaps this is why our system needs to be challenged, and then maybe we will fix our educational system. Well, there's a lot of different issues you're bringing up in your text. Well, okay. This one says here, you will be here until next year trying to explain Article 6 of the Constitution. Some of these people still won't understand. I don't know what you mean by that there. That's rude. If it is simple, like you said, how is it that all these learned lawyers have such differing opinions? That's what they do. This one says here, this is one of the times that you're wrong, Stephen. In the U.S., women receive custody more often than men. Judge bias causes women to have an advantage in court. Well, it happens here too,
Well,
right?
how does that make me wrong?
I don't understand.
I'm
Anyway,
not talking about America. I'm talking about in the Bahamas.
but it happens here too. And
I'm saying it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm saying had we changed that, then no judge would have a foot to stand on to say, oh, well, the mother is automatically going to get the custody of the child.
Yeah. All right, and this one says we need mandatory and automatic paternity tests at birth. Okay. All right. Well, we will continue to follow this, of course, Folks, pay attention to what's happening with the COVID numbers. 43 cases in the most recent dashboard for New Providence alone, 12 for Grand Bahama. All 12 of those had a history of travel in the last 14 days, right? So behave yourself. Yeah? Oh, okay. We have to keep that in mind. That is still a big problem. And so that's 60 cases after so many promising lower numbers before. So the COVID is still here. Remember that as you head out this weekend. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're talking with BTC CEO Andre Foster. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Now if you agree with me, wave your hands up in the air. Let's all do the very best we can to keep peace and love in our land. Let's continue to put God first, and everything else will come, you see. Let's humble ourselves, pray and never cease for the good of our lovely country. Let's keep it better. I say much better. Yes, it is better. Oh, yes, it is better in the Bahamas.
Postpaid with the Live just got better. Say hello to more with our new Liberty Prime plan. 800 text and talk minutes and 15 gigabytes of data to do the things you love right here at home and even when you travel. With the all-new Liberty Prime, Liberty More, Liberty Premium, and Liberty Elite, you're good at home and good to roam. Roam again. Alive. Believe in best. Believe in best.
Travel less, but vacation more by indulging yourself and your family with the ultimate staycation getaway at Atlantis. Sleep in, relax, play, go out. Say yes to a fantastic staycation in your very own paradise just over the bridge. For reservations, call 363-6483 or visit Atlantis Local on Facebook for details.
Digital banking, online, RBC. RBC banking, online, pay your bills anytime.
RBC Digital Banking is so easy. Granny and Granddad can do it. Sign up for online banking or download the RBC Caribbean app.
With RBC, it's safe and easy. Send your money hassle-free. RBC.
Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/bank at home. RBC Royal Bank. Banking reimagined.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Let's face it, in an increasingly competitive market, your business needs a competitive edge. That means offering your employees the benefits they want. Give them the benefit of retiring their way with the RF Multi-Employer Pension Plan. Choose from some of the best performing investment funds in the market while taking advantage of low administrative costs and professional management. Whether you're a team of 2 or 2,000, our pension specialists can design a plan for you. Contact us at pensions@rfgroup.com to learn more about the RF Multi-Employer Pension Plan. RF, money at work.
Enjoy an elevated mobile experience with BTC, giving you
unlimited talk for the best conversations, unlimited data for all your online fun,
and unlimited roaming to stay connected while overseas.
For just $50 per line.
Unlock unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming when you sign up for BTC Superfast Fiber Internet with speed starting at 100 megabits per second. Enjoy more great savings and value. Upgrade or sign up today. Visit any BTC store or btcbahamas.com. Conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
And we're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna. Changing gears now, talking about BTC's new fixed mobile convergence. Here to explain it all to us, very pleased to welcome back to the show BTC CEO Andre Foster. Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us, as always.
Across the archipelago.
There we go. We missed the first couple of words you said, but great to have you with us. Welcome back.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me this morning.
All right. So, fixed mobile convergence. This is very exciting. I don't think we have anything like this. This is, tell us all about it. Explain to us what it is and how this is different from what you did before.
So, no, Dwight, you are absolutely right. This is the first of its kind. And this is, for BTC, we've always been the first bringing telecommunications to the Bahamas. So from our perspective, we're proud to be the first to offer a fixed mobile convergence bundle. And what that means is that we've implemented a set of plans that allows you to have, as a consumer, a 360-degree telecommunication service, just servicing every aspect of your lifestyle. So we've upgraded and elevated our network experience for our connected homes, especially on our fiber to the home footprint. We've been investing heavily in driving additional fiber to the home footprint throughout the country. But what we've also done is now added great value by bundling incredible mobile services, but not just for an individual, but for the entire family. So we've added these plus plans. So it's a +2, so 2 SIMs or 4 SIMs, so 2 lines or 4 lines. And those are coming at an incredible value where you are now getting unlimited data, unlimited talk, unlimited text, as well as international roaming for one single set price, for one low price. And that's as low as $50 per line. So this also is coupled with the fact that at your home, now you're getting a minimum of 100 megabits of service on our fiber to the home network. And that goes all the way up to 600 megabits. And the value doesn't stop there because that's just your download speeds. Your upload speeds are equally significant. We're offering up to 100 megabits of upload speed. So for folks like yourselves who work in the media, where your upload performance is almost as critical as your download, we're making sure that we're really starting to see the ability for people to work from home, to continue to educate from home, and certainly continue to get their entertainment from home.
My goodness, those numbers that you called. Those are very impressive.
Amazing numbers. And, especially compared with, what we've tried to do here, Dwight, is to bring, we've always felt that we added the greatest value to our subscribers. When you compare us to any other telecommunication provider in the Bahamas, BTC provides the greatest value. It means that we're giving you the lowest price per megabyte. We're giving you the lowest price per gigabyte. And that's across every part of our portfolio. That's for our prepaid subscribers, that's for our postpaid subscribers, and that's for our home broadband subscribers. And then one of the best kept secrets we have is our amazing TV services. We have a great product. Our Flow TV offers hundreds of digital channels, all digital. And that's one of the best products that when we have what we call our Net Promoter Score, our TV product is actually one of the highest ranking products that we have in our portfolio, and superior in value compared to our competition. So we know that after a tough Dorian year in 2019, then rolling into a pandemic, our country has certainly been through a tremendous amount of stress, and we've seen the economic downturn. And I'm just pleased to be a part of a company that's not just giving back through the fact that we are a good corporate citizen, but just through the value that we're giving to every person that resides in our beautiful archipelago.
All right, so let's talk more about the mobile aspect of this. So this would count as prepaid essentially, or can you get postpaid?
This is a postpaid service.
Okay.
No, this is a postpaid service, and it's really based on what we've also introduced, which is a family plan. So those family plans allow you to have multiple services on a single account. And you're actually, sharing the usage of the family plan. So we are offering it's an unlimited data usage. So you're really unlimited, you're uncapped, but we do have a fair usage policy. But those family plans offer 300 gigabytes of shared usage. And within your household, everybody is able to take advantage of that amazing amount of capacity. And then when we talk about the voice as well as your text services, all those things are included at an unlimited usage also. So those family plans are the foundation of giving more value to a household, so that you can perhaps look at moving from a prepaid product to a postpaid. When you look at our 4-line product, that's $50. A month, right? And quite frankly, when I look at that, that's if you start just doing some simple math and divide that by 4, you're paying $750 a week, for $1250 a week for a plan. That's actually more than what our prepaid subscribers are paying in some cases when they're topping up on a consistent basis. So we always say, look, do the math, make sure that you are looking at your spend, and it's not just the spend that you have with BTC. You may be spending for your telecommunication services across a number of providers, but when you start to bundle them together and bring them back home, like I said, you could get a postpaid plan for $12.50 a line per week, right, for each person in your house for up to 4 lines. That's amazing value.
All right, for the skeptics out there who might be saying, "Oh, I don't know if I want all the family business in one pot and all that," and concerns about their privacy and somebody, the youngsters in the family using up all the data and leaving me empty-handed. What do you say to the people like that who are a little?
No, listen, that's absolutely, to me, that's not a concern. So again, from the usage of each plan, how you use your phone. We're not saying how you use your phone. So whether you're using WhatsApp or whether you're using other applications, that's all just data consumption. But again, we're only throttling if you exceed your usage. So you don't get disconnected because maybe your son used up what appeared to be the most of your fair usage policy. We just start to throttle once you hit that maximum. So we start to slow down your connections a bit. But what we did when we did our analysis, we looked at our highest usage customers. We said, okay, if this is what our highest usage customers are using, let's go ahead and increase that capacity so they have headroom. So we're very confident that when you look at these postpaid plans and you look at the amount of data allocation, the amount of voice allocation, the amount of SMS allocation, a family of 4 or even a household of 2, they're not going to run out of capacity. There won't be any data hogs taking all the data or taking all the voice. There'll be more than enough to go around.
Mm-hmm. So, Stephen?
Oh, no, I was going to ask, is there a way to monitor it, or is there a way that I could sense because it feels like it's a family plan. So it's is there a way they could assign who gets how much data?
So we don't do that within our system, Stephen, but all of the new devices that we sell today, so any of the smartphones you have today, they have features within the phone that allow you to do self-limiting of the data allocation and also tracking of your own usage. In fact, we encourage our subscribers to become familiar with those features. Our network is so fast. Well, one of the most common complaints is customers say, I just topped up and now my data is all gone. Well, what they may have done is they've gone to a video, they've downloaded a large file, and our blazing fast network has consumed 1 gigabyte or 2 gigabytes of data, and they didn't realize they were getting 50 or 70 megabits per second on their cell phone. Right. So our network is so fast that data allocation can be consumed quickly. But again, using some of those tools that are embedded inside today's phones, you can continue to throttle that. And that's why we also chose this as an FMC bundle. What do most people do when they get home? The first thing they do is they switch off of the LTE network and they go straight to Wi-Fi. So there you're going to be getting up to 600 megabits of speed. You're going to see amazing performance. And of course, that doesn't count against your data allocation at all. You're now using your Wi-Fi connection. So that's why I said we got that 360 view. We're looking at every aspect of how our consumers are using their telecommunication services, whether they're out and about throughout the day or when they're back at home. We want to make sure they have the greatest amount of capacity on both services.
Mm-hmm. Summer travel season. People want to get out of here, especially after the year we had. Tell us more about the data roaming. And this
actually, so again, we use the data roaming aspect. So your unlimited plan is including the data usage. Same thing with text. All your inbound calls are like roam as you're home. So the inbound calls do not count against your unlimited calling. And from our perspective, when you go into some of our Caribbean countries, so we offer that for North America, so Canada, US, but also into our flow markets, our sister markets, we also offer great value there too. So if you're traveling in Jamaica, or if you're traveling in let's say, St. Kitts, or maybe you're in Grenada, you're going to enjoy the exact same benefits as you are here at home. And that's why we're so proud of the fact that this plan is so value rich, right? So we think, we've brought something to the market that's never been done before. Certainly, when you look at what we're competing against in the market with the other providers, they don't offer this type of value, this type of roaming, or even these types of data allocations. And again, from the perspective, as you said, people are they're itching to explore the world again. And I'm happy that they can explore it with BTC in their pocket.
Yeah. I can't imagine using up all of this data, but if you do, someone's asking here, how explain your fair usage policy.
So our fair usage policy starts with a throttling. If you continue to exceed that, there's additional gigabytes that you can buy. So those come in $10 increments, and they top out at around $50 if you were to max out that plan, but you still continue to get unlimited access to data. So from our analysis, it's going to be pretty difficult for folks to really blow through that type of utilization. But if they do, we've got some safety nets, and the largest amount of a bill that they'll see is going to be around a $50 overusage charge. So it's going to be pretty conservatively priced. But again, we're confident that even with these plans, especially when they're bundled together, folks who are using that data both at home as well, using Wi-Fi or while they're on the go using LTE, they'd be hard pressed to kind of blow through some of this data plans. They'd have to be streaming nonstop, 30 days in the month, going to YouTube, downloading movies to really blow through some of this capacity.
Wow.
I mean, I was going to ask, like, what is the plan of this ideal for? Because I mean, I feel like, because you mentioned streaming, so like if a person is using Zoom or still doing Zoom meetings frequently, they may burn through like this, but who is the target? Like, who's the ideal person?
Well, I think that the ideal person for us, right, this is really about the home and the family. And again, that could be a couple or that could be a family of up to 4 persons. We wanted to make sure that we're bringing to them a telecommunication price point for both their fixed services as well as their mobile services that are absolutely the most affordable product in the market. And that's, again, bundled with amazing speeds that they're never experienced anywhere else in the country. And certainly we're continuing to drive up, the bar on that by adding just more capacity to our network. So for us, even, I mean, it's, again, we look at it from the perspective of, a young professional couple who maybe they're, one's an entrepreneur, the other one maybe works within the banking industry. They want to make sure they have the best mobile plans. They also want to make sure that, when they're working from home, whether it's for, the entrepreneurial side of the business or perhaps maybe, taking teleconferences, the bandwidth and the capacity to be able to have, great, video conferencing, to have great entertainment in the evenings. Those types of things are now bundled together. So we see that as it's really bundled around the home, making sure that we've elevated the experience of what people experience while they're on the go or in the home. And that's why we also use this campaign. We call it the Elevate Our Network campaign, because you can see every aspect of what we're doing is elevating the experience of our customers so that they get more value. And like I said, it's really, we're focusing on, whether it's that young couple or perhaps it's that nuclear family, the family of 4, that they want the kids to be connected. And then there's other kind of small use cases. So maybe you're an entrepreneur that needs more data. You have a tablet, that you use. You also have your phone. You need to have multiple lines. Imagine getting those at one very cost-effective price, which can be bundled into a service on your fixed services. So it's really focused around family.
I was going to ask, do I have to be related to the person, or?
So interesting enough, no, you don't. We just need the services all to be on the same fixed account. So here's a good example. Maybe you've got an aunt that lives in Long Island, and as one of the ways you'd like to help her, you decide, look, I'll take care of Auntie's phone bill. I'll take care of her mobile service, and I'll put her on a postpaid plan so she's always connected. So yeah, you can absolutely have, with their permission, of course, a person who's not living in the household, again, take advantage of services on this FMC as being one of those lines. I'll give great examples of my own family, right? I've got kids away in school. they absolutely are on the same phone bill. But of course, they're all over the world, right? So from that perspective, absolutely. It doesn't have to be in the same household, it just has to be on the same account.
Amazing. Okay, that's a game changer there. Wow. All right, so you've got all these benefits for people who sign up now. If you take advantage of this as an introductory offer, tell us about that.
Dwight, tremendous offers. So for those persons who are coming on to our fixed network for the first time and take advantage of FMC, we're offering up to 50% off for the first 3 months. That also comes with some additional goodies. So we've got some free Samsung handsets to take with those new phone lines that you're going to be turning up. And that also comes in addition to some other offers. If you want to take some of our other plans are out in the market. So we've got some just around bundling where it includes tablets. I mean, we've got something for everybody. So again, we're also doing a bunch of activity out in the neighborhood. So we're going through neighborhoods where we're deployed our new network, letting people know that we're there, and our persons are throughout our retail stores, throughout our franchise stores. They're also well equipped to tell you about these great bundles. And again, this is not just in our new neighborhoods. These services, this FMC bundle, can be added to any fixed line service that we have. So even in the areas that we may have not upgraded yet, which we're coming very soon, even they can be bundled with this FMC so they can get the value derived from this incredible mobile service.
Oh, wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Okay, so I know we talked to you a few weeks ago about that. Any new developments since then in terms of fiber and where it is now?
Oh, well, yeah, no, we are pushing ahead very, very quickly. So all of the, we're focused really on the Carmichael Road corridor right now. We're also finishing up some of the build over in Grand Bahama. So a lot of focus there, as well as some efforts in the Dorian impacted areas of Abaco. So Murphytown, Central Pines, those areas should be coming on stream very soon. But I'm also, very pleased to say, and we've been, making this commitment to the Bahamian people that we're going to be building a lot more fiber to the home this year. Our aspiration, we've delivered 6,000 homes already this year, and we're really gearing up to try and deliver another 25,000 by end of year. So you're going to see more communities being turned up, and Dwight, I'm looking forward to coming back in your show and telling you about more of those communities that are now getting that super fast fiber internet, starting at 100 megabits per service, 100 megabits of service, and as fast as 600 megabits. So lots of great things happening in that space.
Let me ask you about the television. Where all is it available on the island right now?
So we offer TV in any of our upgraded areas. There's a link on our website that shows you the areas where we have either our fast or our super fast service. And you can use any of those super fast areas are able to get TV. And again, as I mentioned, it's one of the best products, probably one of our most liked products from a service perspective. We get very high marks on that product, and it's got great content and great value. Up to 225 channels are included in some of our bundles, which again presents tremendous amount of entertainment opportunities for our subscribers. So we're very proud of that product. Again, it's a little bit of a unsung hero for us, but certainly as people take these FMC values or these FMC plans, they get TV as a part of that offering. So we expect to see a good uplift there too.
Yeah, that's excellent. All right, so again, remind us if you're interested in it, fixed mobile convergence, what do you need to do? Who do you need to talk to?
So we will be in your neighborhoods first and foremost, many cases. But if you don't see us, you can call us at 225-5282. So that's call BTC. They'll route you to a representative. The other option, obviously, is just to visit any of our stores. We've got a number of stores throughout many of the islands. So certainly in New Providence, we've got the Faith Avenue, we've got Prince Charles, we've got Cable Beach. And of course, we have our flagship stores in Southwest Plaza, as well as the Mall of Marathon. So we're just excited to, again, continue to bring these great services to our community and to work very closely to elevate the Bahamas.
All right, this is wonderful, wonderful stuff. I mean, you've got a lot of people thinking this morning they need to do some things. They need to make some upgrades, and this is going to this is going to sound very attractive. BTC.
We're elevating the Bahamas, Joy. That's exactly what we're doing.
Excellent.
Elevating everybody's experience.
Excellent stuff. BTC CEO Andre Foster, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for talking with us this morning.
Thank you. Have a great morning.
All right. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, Morning Blend Business, we're going to be talking about athletics in the Bahamas, the business of athletics and what we are doing, what we need to be doing to elevate our track and field game. That's what we're going to talk about after the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Friday, June 25th. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna. And this morning we are talking about sports. We're going to focus on athletics, but we're talking about sports in general, especially with nationals taking place this weekend. We've got the swimming nationals underway, and we've got track and field nationals. We're going to look at the business of sports and what we are doing right, what we need to be doing, and the future here this morning. And we're going to focus on athletics, but sports in general, the beginning of a series of conversations on sports in the Bahamas beginning today. This morning, very pleased to welcome Senior Education Officer with the Ministry of Education, specializing in after-school sports. I've got Evan Wisdom, and we've got the Vice President of the B3As, Bahamas Association of Athletic Associations, Rupert Gardner. Gentlemen, great to have you with us. Great to have you with us this morning in studio.
Thank you, Dwight.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Bahamas.
All right, so as you said, it's a big weekend here, but sports in general, we asked this at the beginning of the show, we're going to be talking about it. How are we doing? How are we doing? It feels like we're in a little bit of a quieter place, a lull compared to where we've been in the past. But how are we doing, and why is it that we are where we are? What are the factors that have caused this? Let's get your assessments on that.
Well, I just wanted to start off by saying, and I should have done this, Mr. Rupert Gardner works along with us at the Ministry of Education Sports Unit. Mm-hmm. He's second in command there, and I always, once I have that opportunity to speak about him and what he's done for our country, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Rupert, you were the coach for the Golden Girls when they won the medal. And so I always give him the kudos for that. And I thank him for the service to the country. I was able to produce one of them, Savathi Defines, and so he took it from there in terms of the actual execution of the medal. And I'm always thankful to work with this man. He's a professional, and he deserves a lot of credit. With regards to sport, what I believe is happening very, very succinctly is that to some greater or less extent, our athletes have passed us. You have a young man. You have a young man. What we have now in Shirley Miller, a number of other persons, these persons are now foregoing college, and we have professional athletes that are coming out of high school and playing professional sport in a lot of sports that we don't even know. We have professional volleyball players. We have, of course, professional basketball players all over the world. Some of the places we would be surprised. And we have a great deal of professional track and field athletes, athletic athletes. And so what is happening now is, Dwight, eventually, and I proceed that I would say second tier in our country, the wealthiest people in our country are Bahamian athletes. When you look at it, and when you start to hear some of the numbers and the contracts, et cetera, I think Buddy Hield must be close to 100 million over 4 years. And you have to think of the impact that DeAndre will make as he goes for this run, to get into the NBA Finals. You got to think of what Shawnee has done, what Stephen has done, and we just have to thank them for what they've done, because they are laying the path for the future. But I believe that what we need to do now is catch up. We need to understand that there is developmental sports, and then there is recreational sports. You and I and Mr. Gardner in the recreational sports thing. I think more of an emphasis needs to go into developmental sports, and that's why Mr. Gardner and myself are here today. And he's going to talk about nationals in terms of track and field. But to me, we have to invest in that. You and I, we can invest in playing some softball, organizing different things, and I even think that those things should fall in the Ministry of Health, where we get healthier as we get older, but in terms of sport, we emphasize these young people, because these young people are now taking it to a different level. And when Andre Ayton's name and the Bahamas' name is mentioned, you can't pay for that.
Right.
There's no ad that can actually pay for that. If he makes it to the finals, and some of us are there with Bahamian flags, you just can't pay for it. So my thing is, at the end of the day, there should be concentration on young people and their development. Mr. Gardner and I have talked about Cuba. I went to a fact-finding trip in Cuba, and found out that there is a sports school in Cuba with Bahamians in it. And we didn't know.
Right.
So we were trying, hold on, wait a second. Look at baseball, you look at judo, you look at all of the sports they emphasize, volleyball, that they do very well, and how do we make that connection?
Yeah. So basically, am I wrong here? The athletes or their parents have been doing it on their own, and the country
and the white, and they don't like that.
Right.
Parents very silently look at. I didn't even, and I hope the baseball community forgives me. Look at baseball. There's a condominium complex. I'm not going to call the child's name, because he's a young person to me. $1 million plus complex, built by the fact that we have a professional baseball player that signed for that kind of money, and has put a wonderful edifice up in Coral Harbor. This is serious business now, and I think as a country, the Bahamian public has taken it serious, but we have to emphasize it more. So that's why you have what's happening in Freedom Farm. That is you have jazz, chisholm, pain now. That is a renaissance, but it's a renaissance, in my opinion, that was driven by parents and other persons who just poured everything into it. And if I start calling names with regards to baseball, you'll never end. But Burroughs is definitely a hero to me.
Right.
He's just a hero.
Yeah.
We need more men. We need more parents doing those kinds of things. And I think everything will be all right. So in terms of sport is becoming a professional activity in our country, even at the high school age.
All right, so what should be happening? What should the government be doing, and what should corporate Bahamas be doing? What should be happening, or in your opinions?
You have to put money in it. You have a person like Mr. Gardner. We already have a sports academy on the island of New Providence. I don't know if we get another one, but we have one here already. Out in Albany. It's a sports academy. Take a kid from Abaco, take a kid from Long Island, take it wherever, put them in that academic rigor, and put them also in that athletic rigor. Let somebody like Mr. Gardner train them. Okay, same thing that's happening in tennis, and these entities want to work with us, but we have to be serious about it and concentrate and put them with coaches like Mr. Gardner, who that's all they do, and I guarantee you, we will put out athletes like racing Dwight.
Gardner, what do you say to that?
Well, I agree with Mr. Wisdom a whole lot. When you're talking about sports is a big business, and once we understand that, you will see the fruits of our labor. We have some of the best athletics in the world.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, you look at Shawnee Miller, Stephen Gardner, Tiny Gator. The list goes on. You know, even in baseball, you know, we just have Jazz Chisholm in basketball. But, you know, you have to, the starting ground is the primary school.
Yes.
And that's where everybody starts from. We have some great PE teachers in the primary school, you know, because they do the fundamentals. Then after that, you go to junior high and senior high. Then you have the likes of a Kevin KJ Johnson take over basketball. But they started from young, you know, because right now, like you say, our national start this evening. And when you come out there, you'll see some of the greatest athletes this country could ever see.
So, what? Part of me wonders, like, what else needs to be done? Because I hear you saying we need an academy or at least somewhere to go to train these people to play the sport properly and as best as they can. But what else is there needed in terms of support? Because there are persons, I have no doubt, who are really good at playing basketball, probably would be good at playing soccer, baseball, whatever sport it is, but they also live in an area where it's not seen as like all you're doing is basically playing game. You need to go do something because, you know, like it's an actual need for you to help provide for your family, like or like I gotta go be a parking boy. I can't be on the court all day, all night. You know what I'm saying? So like what can be done in terms of that? Because you could drive past any court inside in this country and you could see that there's raw talent out there that just waiting to be refined. But what can be done so that they can see or they'll be allowed to take advantage of the opportunities that will be provided?
Dwight, the young man, your co-host, hit the nail on the head. Stephen, you hit the nail on the head. Let me give you an example of what we're talking about. I asked Mr. Gardner to spearhead a activity where we would have worked with the Bahamas Golf Federation. We trained teachers. Now, you know, I mean, how golf is perceived as a sport, similar to tennis. And we trained, I think it would have been close to 21 public high schools, public primary schools. Am I correct, Mr. Gardner? 21 public primary schools. Some of these children had never picked up a club before. There are some schools that they competed against that have golf courses attached to their school.
Wow.
Guess who won? Both divisions. In the girls' division. In the girls' division, okay, I can't remember the name of the two institutions, but I told Mr. Gardner that we have to celebrate those two institutions. The public primary schools won. Now, we know as they get older, that's where the fall-off takes place, okay? So you have public school champions who never picked up a club before, beat children who have a golf course attached to their school. I know that you know the areas where they are. And I thought that people thought I was going crazy, but I began to understand what he is talking about. If you provide an opportunity for an individual, you never, ever, ever, ever know. Look at Aiton. I remember receiving him at grade 11, and Dwight, he was scared to come out of the car. He almost had a phobia. He did not want to come up to my office. You know why? Because when people saw him, he was so tall. He walk into the building, everybody looking at him. And he said, Mr. Wisdom, I don't like that. I don't like that attention. So even at that age, somebody should have been working with him and getting him to understand, listen, your height alone, precedes you. And how do you deal with that mentally? And he told me, Mr. Wisdom, I'm going to go back. I think he went to the school in the States. And they groomed him, and they groomed him, and groomed him. You have persons like Kevin KJ Johnson, that are one of our coaches. If we allowed Kevin to coach all day, Kevin would coach all day, all year. What he is talking about, what your co-host is talking about, is what I'm talking about. You and I just talked about it in terms of public radio. Getting kids or one child to come over from University of Bahamas and say, can I understudy you? That's how it starts. And these kids get stronger. We put them in the hands of persons like Mr. Gardner. We put them in the hands of associations like the B3As and the various associations in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And voila. I just don't like celebrating after a child has been developed. That's not when they need you.
I'm curious, what's going to happen with the golfers that you talked about?
That's another thing. They are now appealing for money now. They're appealing for money now. They don't have, you know, to play golf, you need cash.
Right.
So
apparently I think the clubs alone
I like it.
Because
Quite a lot.
someone told me that like you have to replace the gloves. If you practice in your gloves,
Right.
they're gonna wear out. And if you don't practice in your gloves, then it wouldn't help when you actually in the competition wearing the gloves. So you have to practice and wear the gloves.
Dwight, can you imagine a child on every Saturday being at the golf course at Bahama and the difference in environment where he could potentially be?
Yeah.
And where he is.
My goodness.
So when he goes back into a particular community, he's like, Jesus,
All right.
I have an opportunity.
You mentioned it, petitioning, urging people to give them money. But do we see that here? We see companies in the U.S., they're proud to say we are a sponsor of this team, that team. What happens here when you make those appeals?
I think in our community, I think they need to do a little bit more, you know. The bigger company, you know, support the younger kids, especially I like the public school. You know, I'm a public school product.
Yeah,
you know, I'm going to work for my public school. You know, take for instance like down at Don Davis, the coach down there, Mark Hanna, great basketball coach, great program. You know, but he don't have the funding.
Wow.
Imagine if he had the funding. What will happen? You'll have more of those basketball players.
Yes.
Yeah. Like even in the B3As, we have a club system, but now you know the club system. You need support.
Yes.
Like they say, you can't run to the government for everything.
Right. Right.
So the corporate Bahamas have to step up a little bit more.
So we know in the U.S. there are lots of incentives for these companies to sponsor these teams and to give money. Do we have that here? Do we need that here? What can be done to get corporate Bahamas to open their wallets?
Dwight, Shawnee Miller is the best 200 and 400 meter runner in the world. I just came off the internet this morning and all I saw was Alex. What's her name?
Alex Felix.
That's all I saw. So that's what you're talking about. Shawnee is the best. How do we support her? Can we get Carnival to support her? Can we get all of these entities that want to come into our country to support our champion? I find myself, we have this tendency in the Bahamas because we welcome tourists to think better of other persons than ourselves. But as I get older, I'm falling in love with my country more because of what my country has done for me. And so I'm asking Bahamians today, to come out to the track and field meet, to come out to the swimming, support our own. I know it's tough, but let's, as a country, Dwight, let's fall in love with each other and let's fall in love with our country again. This is a beautiful, wonderful country that's gone through a lot. But persons like Shawnee, Stephen, persons like yourself, Mr. Gardner, myself, man, come on. We as a country, we can pull together and start and fall in love with our country again and do something for our country because undoubtedly at the Olympics, is it the Olympics, Mr. Gardner?
Yeah, Olympics.
Olympics coming up. It's, to me, I like when we do all the shouting and all that sort of stuff. But let's support Shawnee tonight. Let's do that tonight. Let's do all that shouting, all that stuff we do on the international stage. Let's do it tonight on the local stage. Make them feel good, and show Mr. Gardner and on the rest of the B3A's team that we love them and we appreciate them. We know they do it for free.
Yeah,
and we appreciate them.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the process, the learning process, and sports academies. If we need more, what to do on the Family Islands, all that stuff. And then we'll get into the details with the Nationals tonight. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Girl, Child, Junior just showed me Bella Boy in his phone.
What you mean? He take picture of that good-for-nothing boy?
Shh, you don't want Bella here. You say that. You know she always say that's my good child.
So what he doing in Junior phone?
Oh, he there because the police looking for him. He on their wanted list.
Wanted persons in your phone now?
Yes, child. And when police want to find anybody quick, after something happen, they can send pictures direct to your phone. Go to Google Play or App Store and search for Crack Crime Bahamas, then pick install and it will go straight to your phone.
There is also a section on missing persons?
Yes, girl. Everybody needs to get this app so police can tell us right away when these people go missing. Just like an alert system.
Yes, it has numbers for Crime Stoppers Bahamas so you can call and nobody knows it's you. Call directly to Miami and give the information without giving your name or anything about you. I tried the other day and when I hear Junior and his boys talking about where they hide those guns, I walk quick round the corner and call that number.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
Hello, sir. Your credit card bill is due. Hello, sir. It's time for your monthly loan payment. Tired of creditors pounding at your door? Sign up for a debt consolidation loan from Fidelity Bank and consolidate your debt into one low monthly payment. What's more, you will also earn interest on a built-in savings account. The pandemic has curbed many freedoms, but at Fidelity, our focus is to help regain your financial freedom. Visit a branch or speak to a Fidelity Bank at 356-7764. COVID safety measures in place at all branches. Fidelity, we're good for you.
And it's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Attorney General Carl Bethel saying that the government has done everything in its power to be removed from the European Union's anti-money laundering countering the financing of terrorism blacklist, the AML-CFT. The jurisdiction was added to the list of countries considered to have strategic AML-CFT deficiencies in October because it hadn't completed a Financial Action Task Force on-site assessment. Even though the Bahamas was removed from the FATF gray list in December, it remains on the EU blacklist. Attorney General Carl Bethel speaking in the Senate yesterday saying, yes, we're placed on that list, placed on the FATF gray list, but we have left the FATF gray list. The same thing happened to Trinidad. And he says since that time we've had a very, very productive response and hope to have fruitful interactions with the Financial Stability, Financial Services, and Capital Markets Union. You can read more about this in today's Guardian Business section. As luxury cruise line Crystal Cruises prepares for its inaugural sail from the Bahamas as its new home port, skepticism remains about the long-term benefits of introducing cruising to Exuma. Crystal Cruises will begin sailing its 7-night Bahamas Escapes itinerary on July 3rd. The Crystal Serenity is scheduled to make 16 departures from either Nassau or Bimini to Harbor Island, Great Exuma, Long Island, and San Salvador. President of the Exuma Chamber of Commerce, Pedro Rolls, saying that while some islanders are preparing for the economic benefit expected from the cruises, a large component of the business and residential community remains concerned that they are out of options. You can read more about the concerns in today's Guardian Business section. And you heard it here yesterday on Morning Blend Business. Local commercial banks run the risk of losing their correspondent banking relationships if the marijuana or cannabis industry is legalized in this country. That's according to Kenneth Brathwaite, who was speaking on Morning Blend yesterday. He said that there's a danger that the marijuana industry could disrupt important banking relations as long as marijuana sales are still prohibited at a federal level in the U.S. According to Brathwaite, many people expect that regularizing the marijuana industry in the country should be a simple process, but he explained that few people have considered how it would affect the banking industry. If you missed it, pick up today's Guardian Business section or listen to Morning Blend Business on our podcast page on our website, guardiantalkradio.com. Overseas, from the U.S., consumer spending was flat in May, with incomes dropping for a second month as the impact of the government's pandemic stimulus payments waned. Inflation posted a sizable gain as well of 0.4%. Consumer spending was unchanged in May, a marked slowdown following gains of 0.9% in April and 5% in March that had been fueled by distribution of payments of up to $1,400 per individual and a $1.9 trillion stimulus bill. The Commerce Department reporting today with those payments winding down, incomes fell 2% after an even bigger drop of 13.1% in April. Inflation, tied to a gauge of consumer spending that's closely watched by the U.S. Federal Reserve, increased 0.4% and is up 3.9% over the past 12 months, well above the 2% target that the Fed has for annual price increases. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Thursday, your market movers AML Foods Limited moving 1,000 shares, up 1 cent to $6.35. Fidelity Bank moving 1,000, up 80 cents to $13.99. Consolidated Water down 1 cent to $2.47. Emira Incorporated down 5 cents to $11.47. The BISX All Share Index closing at 1,970.27, up 10.21. That's your Market Watch. And that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Congratulations, Bahamas! It's a celebration! Yeah! We got it! You better believe it! Big time! Let's go! This one's for the Fantastic Four! Yeah, man! The Golden Boys! Yes, man! Our Golden Knights! August 10th, 2012! Can't forget it! Let's do this! KB! Spread news far and wide, let it be told. Our boys been the 4x4, our boys been bold. Lift your voices, shout it big and bold. Bahamas been the 4x4, Bahamas been bold. Run, Chris, run, that's all you could hear. On every island, they started to cheer. Look how Chris running, burning up the track.
And we are back here with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna. We are talking about the business of sports, and we're going to focus on athletics in a bit, but we are talking with Evan Wisdom and Rupert Gardner, getting their views on this, having a great discussion so far. All right, so we talked about it before the break about the sponsorship, what needs to be done. Getting some good questions here from our listeners as well, and you can text us as well, 422-4796, or tweet us, Facebook us. Someone saying, what do you think about the fact that national and corporate Bahamas never seems to sponsor in the way that we see in countries like Jamaica and Trinidad? What's that?
I have a follow-up to that question once they answer.
Yep. All right. So what is the difference there? And they're saying they're bringing up subventions as well, and how that's always a challenge. But again, going back, do we need some creativity from the government in order to drive that? Like you were mentioning, you brought up those companies. Does that need to be built into your agreement? Like, okay, we'll allow you to do this project here, but you will be required to sponsor this sport or these many athletes. Is that what we need to start doing?
Dwight, and I prefer to stay off the government. I think it's leadership.
Mm-hmm.
The way Dwight runs his show.
Mm-hmm.
The creativity that he uses. It's leadership. And there are persons who can take you into the bush, and there are persons who can take you on the highway.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, I think, like I said again, this young man that you have as your co-host is hitting all the spots, because at the end of the day, if I didn't have my brothers, if Kalish Rule didn't have somebody like Rupert Gardner. Kalish Rule, former minister, doing very well in this country. But I can always remember Chris Brown too. This is the same gentleman sitting here. We need to look at creative ways in order to, and we need to take sports serious. Before I stop, let me just say this: in British rule, sport was thought as fun. It's a fun activity. It's recreational activity. Americans took it and they made it a professional activity, and that is what we need to do here. If we can sensitize people into understanding this is business. Dwight, I'm not going to call his name, but I have a relative. 50 million? I said, what do you do with $50 million, man? And he says, Uncle Ev, I like watches.
Anything you want.
I like watches. I say, you like watches? And my job is to put that basketball in that hole. And I get paid a lot of money for it. I can go to this bank here and take out of this bank more than your eyes would spin.
Wow.
And we look at that as, man, that's fun.
Yeah.
He looks at it as business. Buddy Hield, 100 million over 4 years? Whole family life change. Whole family and generations of persons because of the wonderful work that has been put into him. These guys, like Mr. Gardner, these associations, the swim associations, the people out there doing it are free. They are heroes, man.
And we were talking about this off air, not just those type sports, but chess and so many things.
These people are
There's so many
heroes.
opportunities for people who are struggling right now with this raw talent. It doesn't have to be like this.
I don't know who's dealing with the baseball, but man, we gotta. I don't know if you agree with me, Coach. We have to find a way. Whoever is putting out these athletes in baseball, we have to find a way to big them up, man.
So my query then is, right, because I mean, I don't feel like we necessarily need to wait for the government to do everything, right? Part of this can be done with the help of the part of it is going to be getting parents to understand where this could take the child, the family, all this different stuff. But part of it's also going to be corporate Bahamas being able to help to sponsor and make this reality, right? And so my question is, should it be that the clubs are made first and then they look for the funding, or should corporate Bahamas be saying to themselves, you know what, as the CEO of this company, I know that I like golf, or I know that I like, as Dwight saying, chess, or I know that I like bowling. So I want to form a club that is in this community that is adjacent to my headquarters or close by my business. Because a lot of these multi-million-dollar corporations in the ghetto, they have offices and branches in the ghetto, and like all of them out west, right? So it's like, I want to impact some change locally. Should that be the conversation where we're encouraging corporations to say, listen, we want you to be in charge. We want you to fund the club, right? Come to us and we'll show you how to set it up. We want you to fund the club so that your children don't have to worry about uniforms. You give them some food so they ain't got to worry about what they can eat when they get home and all this different type of stuff. But to invest in this community that you are a part of, is that the conversation we should be having?
Yes, I think that's the conversation we should be having, because when you look at down in Jamaica, they have the company, I think, Grace, the food.
Yep.
And then in the United States, they have McDonald's and those big Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola and stuff and all that. But we have the same company here. We have the Coca-Cola here. We have the McDonald's here. You know? So why they can't do the same thing? You know, with the people like association, federation like the B3As and baseball and swimming, they shouldn't be running to the government for everything. Why a Coca-Cola can say, listen, I'm going to take on the B3As, and because the B3As could do their brand, Coca-Cola Coca-Cola could be on the Beach Race brand, or McDonald's could be on swimming. You know. So
Rev has done it with us.
Yes.
Rev has a show for basketball that. So we don't even have to come when the GSSS they have established. Rev Television has established a relationship with the Government Secondary School Sports Association because the basketball games are so close.
Yeah.
And they are, in terms of viewership, they have thousands of people nationwide that watch it. So we don't even, the president of the GSSS doesn't even have to go. I will get a call from Rev, and they will say, Mr. Wisdom, we're ready. And they're putting, I would say, close to $50,000 to $60,000 of programming. 3 nights. If it goes over, they take it over.
Yeah, I see they're doing it with swimming now. With swimming nationals,
they took over swimming.
Yeah,
I mean, but I think there's also opportunity where it's like, I don't want people to hear that and think that they also can't still invest.
No, I agree.
In basketball, because it's like as long as because they got television, but now like you said, you might be a water company and say, listen,
that's right.
I want to do something. You could also help contribute to this. So I don't want people to think that, I mean, it's a door closed. All these doors are open for everybody.
Atlantis too, sir. Atlantis is now on board, so we don't call Atlantis. Whatever they do with their basketball games, they bring that equipment. They bring that thousands and thousands. Atlantis brings thousands of dollars of equipment to our championships, and it's because they have invested now in the Government Secondary Schools Sports Association.
Yeah. So we just need a corporate mindset shift. Hopefully it doesn't take too long.
What I would really like to see is a program where it's like you got, I'm going to use Guardian as an example. You get Guardian to say, we want to sponsor a team at T.A. Thompson. And this is going to be the Guardian Radio chess magnets or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, and all they do, we want to make sure that they could meet twice a week to play chess, and we're going to get them the best chess gloves and the best chess boards, and we're gonna make sure that they're well fed so they could focus on the board and all this different stuff. I think programs like that also get it because see on a macro level, right? You have it working to some extent. So you're right. You got Rev doing the broadcast. You got Atlantis contributing, and that's good.
Yeah.
But like you said, we don't want to just be when the people already made it. By the time in the championship, I kind of almost there.
Yeah.
Right? What we want is the people who they never touched the ball yet.
Yeah.
Now that's an interesting point. So what we're seeing in the U.S., some might say it's over commercializing sports, but we're seeing all the stadiums named after companies. Right. Here we name them after people, and that's great. But perhaps we can get money that way. Well, do you think that would be an option?
NCAA's decision with regards to the promotion and the image of athletes just came in. So you now will have student athletes making money off of their image. Now, to what extent, what kind of revenue that brings in for the particular athlete is unknown at this point. But as your co-host said, either we're going to be dragged into this or we're willingly going to sit down, plan. Mr. Gardner and I's dream is to see our kids travel. Dwight, when I was in high school in Virginia, we got on a bus every Thursday and we had a soccer game or we had a track meet or whatever. We traveled by bus. But our goal is to see our student athletes be able to travel, to be able to go to South Florida, to be able to have sports exchanges, to be able to develop as young people. And I think today this show is the impetus of what, in my opinion, can be the start of something new. I look at what is happening in our country. And I tie it to the fact that our sports have always lifted us. After what we've went through, when DeAndre Ayton put that ball in night before last, I mean, just you realize, wait a sec, this isn't over, man. This is the Bahamas. We could do anything.
All right, caller, I see that you were calling. Call back 325-4259. We're going to take our final break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Nationals. We're going to get into what we can expect this weekend and so much more. We need a couple more hours for this. But this is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAO, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAO, growing wealth for future generations.
Cash it go, pay all your bills and cash it go. Send your money from cash it go. Top up your minutes, cash it go. Pay insurance and cash it go.
Did you know that you can top up your BTC or Live number within the Cash and Go mobile wallet?
You can do it at Cash and Go. Pay all your bills at Cash and Go. Send your money from Cash and Go. Top up your minutes, Cash and Go. Pay insurance at Cash and Go. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's at Cash and Go.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
One final check of your weather for today, brought to you by Cash and Go. Here's what's happening. We've got a moist and unstable air mass that will continue to support pockets of unsettled weather across portions of the northwest Bahamas throughout the weekend. Boaters should be alert for possible water spouts, and beachgoers should be alert for rip currents at east and south coast beaches, and everybody's being advised to remain hydrated as we're expecting those heat indices again to be in the triple digits. For today, for the northwest Bahamas, variable cloudiness, breezy and hot conditions, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms through tonight. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly to mostly sunny, hot and breezy with a chance of a few isolated showers today. Mostly fair, warm and breezy with a few possible stray showers tonight. Temperatures getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, but the heat index will make it feel like 105 Fahrenheit, 41 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. For your weekend, we're expecting troughing to maintain elevated rain chances across portions of the country throughout the weekend. So for Saturday, partly cloudy, hot and breezy with scattered showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms. Sunday, partly sunny and hot with a few showers and the chance of thunderstorms. And we're keeping an eye on that tropical wave just off the African coast. We're monitoring that for possible development over next week. Right now, it has a low chance, about 30% chance of tropical cyclone formation through the next 5 days. That's your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Cash and Go. Pay your BAF insurance premium in the new Cash and Go mobile wallet. Download today in the Google Play or App Store and avoid the lines. Cash and Go.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
You see, I wake up in the morning and I just realize the Golden Girls win gold again. I'm watching my TV to my big surprise. The Americans, they vex again. Show me your flag away, a flag away, a flag away, a flag. Show me your flag away, a flag away, a flag away. Show me your flag away.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, Morning Blend Business. Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna. We are talking with Evan Wisdom and Rupert Gardner, talking about sports in the country. You're going to focus on athletics for our final few minutes here. And you remember that excitement from that song all those years ago. We're seeing a lot of individual, when it comes to athletes, individual success. But it seems like what's happening on the team level or relays? I know we're having a challenge there. Will we have relay teams in the Olympics? What's happening there? Has there been a shift, or is it just a transition period?
It could be both. But I would say there's a transition period right now, going through our, athletes from the past. Now we have new athletes coming up, like Wendell Miller and Wanye McCoy, two young high school athletes who are grade 400 meter. Terrence Jones is a shift now, and you'll see the shift on the weekend. This weekend coming up, this when the junior athletes will rise to the occasion, because the competition starts this evening at 5:30. You can have the hundreds from under 13 to open, and then you'll have the 400s, and the same thing from under 13 to open. And tonight you'll see Stephen run the 400, Stephen Gardner in the 400. You see Shawnee in the 400, and also our college girls are home. Everybody talking about the 400 with with Breon Bettle and Megan Moss, and you have Anthony Strachan and Danisha Anderson. All of them is home. So you'll see a great 400 meters tonight with those young girls.
Okay.
And then when you look at on the men's side, the same guys, Stephen. You have Alonzo Russell, Michael Machu, one of the Golden Knights, and the younger guys in the 400. So you can see a shift of athletes over the weekend.
Yeah.
Now you talk about the relays. Huh? We have a competition on Monday. The Blue Marlin. Cash. He's the meet director for this competition. This one we're gonna attempt to qualify all our relays.
All right. So
I love
that door isn't closed yet.
No, they ain't closed.
Okay.
So we're looking for the behemoths to come out over the weekend. The competition starts tonight and then ends Monday. When you see all the relays, and you see Shawnee in the relay, you see Stephen in the relays, they attempt to qualify. So we need the behemoth support to come out and cheer them on to qualify.
When is that? What time?
Well, the relays is on Monday, starts at 5. But we have in the men's 4x4 on Sunday evening.
Okay.
And we'll start competing against Mexico, and Trinidad is here. Teams of the United States going to be here.
So they're also trying to qualify for their countries?
Well,
they're just here to
here
inspire more competition.
To lead us, to help us qualify.
Okay.
And the teams that we are going to assemble, we have a great chance to qualify, especially our men's 4x4. 2 weeks ago they just ran 3:03. They just shy about 1 second off to qualify.
Yeah. Should we be concerned? A few weeks ago, was it 12? How many athletes so far qualified for the Olympics? So that number seemed pretty low, but will that change this weekend with the nationals in swimming and athletics? Is that likely to change?
That's going to change. You'll see, like you say, you'll see athletes rise to the occasions tonight. Over the 4 days, you'll see them rise to the occasion, because everybody wants to be a part of the Olympic Games. That's when you see the best of the best come out of our athletes. So like I say, tonight, it's going to be, especially in the high jump tonight. The high jump is going to be a feature event with Donald Thomas, the world champion. And you have Jamal Wilson and Trevor Barry. And then we have the young Sean Miller going to be high jumping tonight. So that's going to be one of the marquee events tonight.
Yeah. Wow.
And like I said, you see the heats of the 400 with Stephen, and then you'll see the finals of the 100 tonight.
Wow.
You see, so
that's exciting.
Then you'll see the tiny Gator, and then we have a young lady out of Houston, a Bahamian girl, Camila Rutherford, in the 100. Then you have the young Tanisha Cartwright. So the 100 is going to be stacked tonight, especially on the man side.
Okay.
You have Warren Frazier. You have Samson out of Purdue. So you can see the change of God tonight.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So don't give up hope yet. All right. So you mentioned high jump, but the other field events, we used to have some more. We used to see more action in field, but what's going on there? Can we get back into that? What needs to happen?
Yeah, we're gonna, like I say, we're gonna get back, because in the discus we have Sharina Brown just came out of the NC, who finished 10th in the NC. She's competing also, and then the long jump. You have look on then. Okay, in the long jump, not tonight, but the long jump going to be a great competition. I'm looking for Craig Hebburn record to be broken in this meet.
Oh, really? Okay.
And the triple jump, you have Tamara Myers in the triple jump, and then you have matter of fact, I saw Bianca Stewart. That's home. She'll be long jumping over the weekend.
Great athlete.
So you'll see the field event now start to come back. You'll probably soon we'll have a Bradley Cooper.
Okay. Oh, wow. All right, looking forward to that.
It's there.
Yeah.
Just like a hurdle you have to get over.
All right, we've got some interesting questions coming from our listeners. Somebody's asking about vaccine stipulations with COVID. And are athletes required to be vaccinated for the Olympics? Where do things stand? Are you concerned about vaccines? Will they impact how you perform? Or what do we know?
No, I'm not concerned about the vaccine because you don't have to be vaccinated to go to Tokyo. If you get a vaccine, it's good. I'm personally, I don't believe in the vaccine. You see, but everybody have their choices,
right?
So that's not an issue. The vaccine.
And we know that we were talking about this a lot all week long about the initial policy for the event this weekend. We were saying was going to be vaccinated people, attendees only, but that's changed.
No, that's changed.
That's changed.
Yes. Everybody could come up,
right?
Just as social distance. You have security. Make sure it's social distance. So. I'm looking for the stadium to be packed.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, come out and support Shawnee. Come and support Stevie. Come and support Tania and Samson Colbert.
Mr. Gardner, I had one question. Is there universal testing happening during this COVID period in athletics?
Yeah, they're testing.
Okay.
You have to test.
They're still testing?
Yeah, they're still testing.
Okay. So everybody internationally is being tested, or you think that's because you have some people running some extremely fast times?
Well, I know the IAAF is not tested this year because of the COVID.
See, that's a big deal.
Oh, boy.
That's a big deal. Okay?
But you want to speculate that.
No, I'm not speculating on anybody.
Right.
What I'm saying is that small countries like us need to be protected against persons that can be predators, and even if that's state-sponsored. When the IAAF tests, I believe that we have an equal playing field. And I asked them the question before, and I just wanted the general public to know.
Yeah.
That it's interesting, and we understand the period we're in, but I find that very interesting that I didn't hear a lot about it. And there are some people running some extremely fast times.
We've been hearing about that. Wow. All right, we are out of time. But again, give us the times for the Nationals this weekend.
It starts at 5:30 this evening. Right. Tomorrow it starts at 10 o'clock. On Sunday it starts at 2. And Monday it starts at 5:30.
Okay, wonderful stuff. Excellent. I think we had a great discussion this morning. Hopefully, Corporate Bahamas is listening. Right, the athletes need your support. There are many young people out there who don't know which direction they're heading, but they have unbelievable talent, and they just need to have that opportunity there. And some of that's going to require monetary opportunity.
And the Ministry of Education is willing to. Our leader, Mr. Jeffrey Lloyd, and our Director of Education, Mr. Marcellus Taylor, whatever we need to do to cause for sport at the high school level, along with myself and Mr. Gardner, we will do.
Yeah. All right. So we're wishing all the athletes good luck today and tomorrow and Sunday and Monday, and it's going to be wonderful stuff. Rupert Gardner and Evan Wisdom, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Really appreciate it. Stephen Hanna, always a pleasure. Thank you very much, sir.
Good guy. Stephen Hanna.
Oh, you sound so excited, Stephen. Are you sad to go? Is that what it is?
No, I hope that out of this conversation that people listening realize that like their companies and even their persons can go ahead and help to invest inside this stuff. Start a league inside or a team inside your neighborhood.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, everybody. Go out to the Nationals, swimming, athletics. Do something, support these athletes. Have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.